Want to speak real Hebrew from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at HebrewPod101.com.
10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Okay, are you ready? Let's start. אני אדבר עברית ברמת שפת אם תוך 3 שנים. I'll speak Hebrew in a native level in 3 years. אני אדבר עברית ברמת שפת אם תוך 3 שנים. I'll speak Hebrew in a native level in 3 years. You think you can? Well, prove it. Start now. אני יכולה לצפות בסרטים בעברית ללא כתוביות. I can watch movies in Hebrew without subtitles. אני יכולה לצפות בסרטים בעברית ללא כתוביות. I can watch movies in Hebrew without subtitles. There actually are a lot of good movies done in Israel in the last 10 years. Obviously more, but if you want to, be updated. A few of my favorite are Jellyfish, which is amazingly good, I think. And another one who was actually nominated for the Academy Awards called Vals im Bashir, Waltz with Bashir, I think. It's a really good movie. אני יכולה לשנן בערך 50 מילים חדשות בעברית ביום. I can memorize around 50 new Hebrew words a day. אני יכולה לשנן בערך 50 מילים חדשות בעברית ביום. I can memorize around 50 new Hebrew words a day. That's crazy, can you? You say that to me and I will be amazed. Just saying. אני לומדת עברית כבר 10 שנים. I've been learning Hebrew for 10 years. אני לומדת עברית כבר 10 שנים. I've been learning Hebrew for 10 years. Well, that would only amaze me if you don't speak Hebrew at this point, because learning a language for 10 years and not being able to speak it, well, that is amazing. אני לומדת עברית לגמרי לבד. I'm learning Hebrew all by myself. אני לומדת עברית לגמרי לבד. I'm learning Hebrew all by myself. That is impressive. How do you do that? With HebrewPod101.com? Well, in Israel, when we're impressed, we have this sound that we make. It goes psh. Okay, so this is what you say when you're impressed. All by yourself? Psh. I am amazed. You know what? Amazed. הבנתי את כל מה שאמרת. I understood everything you said. That's a funny one. הבנתי את כל מה שאמרת. I understood everything you said. I hope you understand everything I say. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here talking to myself. But you know what? Props to you. חוץ מעברית, אני יכולה לדבר גם כמה שפות אחרות. Apart from Hebrew, I can speak a few other languages as well. Well, that's just bragging. חוץ מעברית, אני יכולה לדבר גם כמה שפות אחרות. Apart from Hebrew, I can speak a few other languages as well. Well, you don't need to brag, okay? I only have 2. How many languages can you speak? Leave a comment below. Make us jealous. לקח לי רק שנה אחת על מנת לדבר בשטף. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. לקח לי רק שנה אחת על מנת לדבר בשטף. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Well, I am amazed by that because, as you probably already know, Hebrew is a difficult language to learn, but I think it's doable. עברית היא כיפית וקלה ללמידה. Hebrew is fun and easy to learn. עברית היא כיפית וקלה ללמידה. Hebrew is fun and easy to learn. I would be happy if you think that. Yeah, do you agree? Is Hebrew fun and easy to learn? Hope it is. תודה, אבל זו לא שפת האם שלי למען האמת. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. תודה, אבל זו לא שפת האם שלי למען האמת. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. You're not a native speaker? Then, you're really good. One that would really amaze me will be, למדתי את כל זה אתמול. I learned all of that yesterday. Must have been a busy day. 10 phrases you always want to hear. So, the first one is, צדקת. You were right. צדקת. You were right. I said it in the female form, צדקת. For a male, it would be צדקת. You were right. I knew it. I'm always right. אני מתגעגעת אלייך. I miss you. אני מתגעגעת אלייך. I miss you. This is a really interesting verb, I think, because it doesn't exist in English. In English, you say, I miss you, which is really nice, but in Hebrew, you have a special verb for this feeling of missing someone or something. מתגעגע for a male, מתגעגעת for a female. So I like this one. אני מתגעגעת אלייך. את טבחית מעולה. You're an excellent cook. את טבחית מעולה. You're an excellent cook. For a male, אתה טבח מעולה. את נראית נהדר היום. You look great today. את נראית נהדר היום. You look great today. For a male, אתה נראה נהדר היום. הבאתי לך משהו מיוחד. I brought you something special. הבאתי לך משהו מיוחד. I brought you something special. For a male, הבאתי לך משהו מיוחד. התקציב הוא בלתי מוגבל. The budget is unlimited. התקציב הוא בלתי מוגבל. The budget is unlimited. This goes for all genders. Yay! את המנצחת. You are the winner. Yeah, it's always fun to hear. For a female, it would be את המנצחת. You're the winner. אתה מנצח. You're the winner. I want to thank my parents and everyone that helped me get here. You love me. You really love me. יהיה בונוס בסוף החודש. There'll be a bonus at the end of the month. יהיה בונוס בסוף החודש. There'll be a bonus at the end of the month. Yes. עשית עבודה נהדרת. You did a great job. עשית עבודה נהדרת. You did a great job. It's always fun to hear. For a male, it would be עשית עבודה נהדרת. תודה, לא היינו יכולים לעשות את זה בלעדייך. Thanks, we couldn't have done this without you. תודה, לא יכולנו לעשות את זה בלעדייך. Thanks, we couldn't have done this without you. For a male, בלעדיך. 10 lines you need for introducing yourself in Hebrew. So let's start. שמי יערה. My name is יערה. Okay, this one is the most basic. שמי יערה. My name is יערה. שמי means my name, and it's the same for men and women. You should know, though, this is a bit formal. The casual way of introducing yourself is saying, קוראים לי יערה, which literally means something like, I'm called יערה. שלום, נעים להכיר אותך. Hello, it's nice to meet you. שלום, נעים להכיר אותך. Hello, it's nice to meet you. You say this when you're talking to a male. Otherwise, it's שלום, נעים להכיר אותך. אני מישראל. I'm from Israel. אני מישראל. I'm from Israel. You can obviously change that. I'm from Italy would be אני מאיטליה. I'm from America will be אני מאמריקה. אני גרה בירושלים. I live in Jerusalem. אני גרה בירושלים. I live in Jerusalem. I said the female form. The male form would be אני גר בירושלים. This verb, אני גרה, גר, it doesn't mean to live, like to exist, but to live in a place. So, אני גרה בירושלים. אני לומדת עברית כבר שנה. I've been learning Hebrew for a year. אני לומדת עברית כבר שנה. I've been learning Hebrew for a year. For a male it would be אני לומד עברית כבר שנה. אני בת 27. I'm 27 years old. אני בת 27. I'm 27 years old. For a male, אני בן 27. אני מורה. I'm a teacher. אני מורה. I'm a teacher. Or for a male, אני מורה. You obviously don't have to say that if you're not a teacher. אחד התחביבים שלי הוא קריאה. One of my hobbies is reading. אחד התחביבים שלי הוא קריאה. One of my hobbies is reading. This sentence stays the same for male and for female speaker. אני נהנית להאזין למוזיקה. I enjoy listening to music. אני נהנית להאזין למוזיקה. I enjoy listening to music. For male speaker, אני נהנה להאזין למוזיקה. גדלתי בתל אביב. I grew up in Tel Aviv. גדלתי בתל אביב. I grew up in Tel Aviv. This sentence stays the same for a male and for a female speaker. Obviously, if you grew up somewhere else, you can also say גדלתי בניו יורק. I grew up in New York. Or גדלתי בפריז. I grew up in Paris.
Happy words! Yay! שמח. Happy. שמח. Happy. מי שטוב לו ושמח, כף ימחה. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. So obviously there's also a Hebrew translation to this song, and I remember it from kindergarten, and I didn't even know that it was in English originally. I guess I found out somehow, but yeah, you know, I think they have it in like every language. מי שטוב לו ושמח, כף ימחה. יפהפה. Beautiful. יפהפה. Beautiful. הדירה שלהם פשוט יפהפייה. Their apartment is absolutely beautiful. Obviously, the word יפהפה, beautiful, comes from the word יפה, pretty. It's so pretty that you have to repeat the word twice. Like, is it יפה? No, it's יפהפה. לאהוב, to love. לאהוב, to love. אני אוהב שוקולד ועוגות גבינה. I love chocolate and cheesecakes. This example sentence is also from like a Hebrew song for kids, and it's a very famous song about a kid who sings about all the things that he loves. And he's saying, אני אוהב שוקולד ועוגות גבינה. He loves chocolate and cheesecakes, and he loves food, and he loves his sister and his mom and his dad, but most of all, he loves himself. נהדר, great. נהדר, great. איך היה הסרט? אוי, הוא היה פשוט נהדר. How was the movie? Oh, it was simply wonderful. נהדר can be great, it can be wonderful, it can be magnificent, and it comes from the word הדר, which means glamour. נהדר, magnificent. נמרץ, lively. נמרץ, lively. יש לנו אחד במשרד, והוא כל הזמן כל כך נמרץ. We have a guy at our office, and he's always so lively. We all know that one guy, right? אדיב, kind. אדיב, kind. חשוב להיות אדיבים לזולת. It's important to be kind to one another. You know, like on the bus, if you see a pregnant lady or an older man, like, and they're standing up and you're sitting down, just stand up for them, let them have a seat. That's a very kind thing to do. And it's very אדיב. מצחיק, funny. מצחיק, funny. אוי, את אוהבי את הבחור הזה, הוא כזה מצחיק. Oh, you're gonna love that guy. He's so funny. I know that sounds like a euphemism, but it's not. Just, you know, funny is funny. I think some people nowadays, like, they use, oh, you're so funny. When they say that in Hebrew, את כזאת מצחיקה. Like, oh, I think you're confusing. Oh, I think you're mistaken. In like a little bit of a passive-aggressive way. But I think 98% of, you know, when people use that word, it's just mean, you know, funny. אדיר, awesome. אדיר, awesome. ראית את האפליקציה שהתקנתי? היא פשוט אדירה. Did you see the app that I installed? It's just awesome. So this is more of like a slang word. When you say about something, אדיר, it's like, it was great, it was awesome. Absolutely awesome. אדיר. נפלא, fantastic. נפלא, fantastic. אכלנו קינוח נפלא במסעדה. We had a fantastic dessert at the restaurant. So, נפלא is less of a slangish way of saying like the same thing, but it's a bit more, you know, kind of like upscale, a bit more respectful. Fantastic. נפלא. להתגלגל למצחוק. rolling on the floor laughing. להתגלגל מצחוק. rolling on the floor laughing. הייתי בסטנדאפ אתמול, ופשוט התגלגלתי מצחוק. I was at a stand-up comedy yesterday, and I just rolled on the floor laughing. So this phrase in English, usually people use it like online, and they write ROFL, like ruffle, and it's like meaning, oh yeah, I'm like rolling on the floor laughing right now. But in Hebrew, you also kind of use it when you're actually talking to somebody face to face. It's not just like an internet kind of a meme phrase. It's just something that actually happens, like you're just rolling on the floor.
Hi everyone! Do you know how to say I love you in Hebrew? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say it. Let's start with how to express your feelings to your loved one.
אני אוהב אותך. אני אוהב אותך. אני אוהב אותך.
Or if you want to explain those butterflies in your stomach, you can say
אני דלוק עלייך. אני דלוק עלייך. אני דלוק עלייך.
And when you feel that I love you is not enough, you can say
מילים לא יכולות לתאר את האהבה שלי אליך. מילים לא יכולות לתאר את האהבה שלי אליך. מילים לא יכולות לתאר את האהבה שלי אליך.
Hi, welcome to Introduction to Hebrew. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Edith.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Hebrew grammar. Word order refers to the order in which words are structured to form a sentence in a given language. The first thing you must remember when reading Hebrew is that it's read from right to left. Consider the English sentence, he ate an apple. But first, let's remove the article an here for simplicity. So we're just left with, he ate apple. The basic word order for English is subject, verb, object, or SVO for short. If we break down the English sentence, he ate apple, we can see that the subject he is presented first, followed by the verb ate. And then finally, the object apple is positioned last. This is the basic word order for sentences in English.
Now let's compare that same sentence. He ate an apple in Hebrew. הוא אכל תפוח. In Hebrew, you only need an article for definite articles. Here we have only an indefinite article, so we don't need a word like a or an. If we break down the Hebrew sentence, we get the subject, hu, meaning he. Then comes the verb, achal, meaning ate. And finally, we have the object, tapuach, meaning apple. The word order for Hebrew is the same as English, subject, verb, object, or SVO for short.
In Hebrew, for simple sentences with a verb, the order is the same as in English. Word order varies in Hebrew for emphasis and in more complicated sentences. You don't have to worry about that until you learn the basics. For now, use the basic subject, verb, object form when making sentences in Hebrew.
Okay, let's move on to the next section.
In Hebrew, you want to begin with the subject of your sentence. Let's start with the pronoun I.
In Hebrew, that's ani.
Next, you need your verb. In the present tense, there are 4 forms for verbs according to masculine, masculine plural, and feminine plural. When your subject is I, the verb is conjugated either in masculine or feminine, depending on who is talking.
Using the verb to love, le'ehov, as an example, the masculine is ohev, and the feminine is ohevet.
So, what do we have so far?
I'm a woman, so I would use the feminine, ani ohevet.
The last thing we need is an object, something you love. How about dogs?
Klavim, ani ohevet klavim. I love dogs. If I were a man, I would say, ani ohev klavim.
So, it's as simple as that, and very similar to English. Now it's your turn. See if you can use these words to make the sentence, The boy loves dogs.
אוהב. כלבים. הילד.
Did you succeed? First, you need the subject, the boy. In the present tense in Hebrew, the verb is determined by the number and gender of the subject. Here, we have one boy.
הילד.
Then you need to add the verb, the boy loves.
This verb will be conjugated in masculine singular for the boy. That's אוהב. הילד אוהב.
Finally, you add the object. Altogether, the boy loves dogs.
הילד אוהב כלבים.
But what if you're not a dog lover and you want to express that in Hebrew? Forming the negative in Hebrew is very easy. You just need to know one word.
לא.
To make the sentence negative, you add this word before the verb.
אני לא אוהבת כלבים.
Great! Now you know how to make a sentence in Hebrew and you know how to say it in the negative. Next, we're going to teach you one more thing, how to ask a question in Hebrew. This is really difficult. Are you ready for this? You don't have to change a word in the sentence. To ask a question in Hebrew, you change how you say the words in the sentence. Let's hear "the boy loves dogs" as a question.
הילד אוהב כלבים?
Let's hear the difference between the normal sentence and the question.
The normal sentence is הילד אוהב כלבים. The question is הילד אוהב כלבים?
The formal way to ask this as a question is to add a word to the beginning of the sentence. But this way is not used very often in speech.
You say האם before the rest of the sentence. האם הילד אוהב כלבים?
If you want to ask who loves dogs, you replace the subject with the word for who.
That word is מי. מי אוהב כלבים?
Well done. Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. In this lesson, you learned that Hebrew sentences are formed using a subject, verb, object, or SVO word order, just like in English. Secondly, you learned how to make a sentence negative by adding one word before the verb. Lastly, you learned that asking questions in Hebrew is easy because you only have to change the way you say the sentence to ask a question.
10 phrases you never want to hear. Are you ready? It's gonna be mean. Let's start. אני לא יכולה להחזיר לך את הכסף היום. I can't pay you back today. אני לא יכולה להחזיר לך את הכסף היום. I can't pay you back today. Fine, pay me back tomorrow, it's all good. אמרתי לך. I told you so. Oh, that's a nasty one. אמרתי לך. I told you so. Hi, Mom. Yeah, you did. אנחנו צריכים לדבר. We need to talk. אנחנו צריכים לדבר. We need to talk. It can never turn out to be, you want something. No. אני רוצה להיפרד. I want to break up. So yeah, what usually follows we should talk is אני רוצה להיפרד. I want to break up. This is a really sad lesson. You know what? It's better for the both of you. את מפוטרת. You're fired. את מפוטרת. You're fired. For a male, it would be אתה מפוטר. Fine, I didn't want this job anyway. Yeah. השמנת לאחרונה? Have you gained weight recently? This is one of the meanest ones. And it's really mean because they never say it in a mean way. השמנת לאחרונה? Have you gained weight lately? Well, maybe I have. And I like it. זו לא את, זה אני. It's not you, it's me. זו לא את, זה אני. It's not you, it's me. It can be nice to hear that. I don't want it to be me, I prefer it to be you. It depends on the context, I guess. סליחה, שכחתי. Sorry, I forgot. סליחה, שכחתי. Sorry, I forgot. I forgot to bring you your stuff. Or I forgot to come today. I forgot to wake up on time. You know who I'm talking about. I used to say it a lot when I was younger. That was like my catchphrase. Oh, sorry, I forgot. תודה על קורות החיים שלך. עם זאת, התפקיד כבר אויש. Thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled. תודה על קורות החיים שלך. עם זאת, התפקיד כבר אויש. Thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled. באמת? את נראית הרבה יותר מבוגרת. Really? You look much older. באמת? את נראית הרבה יותר מבוגרת. Really? You look much older. That's, you know what? Even if you think that, don't say it out loud. That's just rude.
Hey guys, welcome to Hebrew Weekly Words. My name is Yara, and today we're going to talk about family. משפחה. אמא. mother. לאמא שלי קוראים איילת. My mother's name is איילת. I can say אמא שלי, my mother, and this is also how we call our mothers, אמא, like mom or mommy. The more formal word is אם, but we don't use it when we speak. אבא, father. אבא שלי גבוה מאוד. My father is very tall. The formal word is אב, but again, when speaking in non-formal language, we say אבא. בת, daughter. Bat is daughter, and it's also girl. Like when you ask if it's a boy or a girl, you ask זה בן או בת. Her daughter is 3 years old. הבת שלה בת 3. I just realized it's a funny word when you speak English. But yeah. בן, son, or a boy. הבן שלו ממש דומה לו. His son looks a lot like him. סבתא, grandmother. It's spelled סבתא, but most of the times you hear סבתא. This is how children say it at least, סבתא. סבתא שלי גרה בכפר. My grandmother lives in a village. Hi guys, my name is Yara and this is Weekly Hebrew Words, the series in which I share with you the magical treasure of Hebrew, which I possess. So thank you for joining me, and this week's theme is personalities. כועס, angry. For a female it would be כועסת. הוא כועס כל הזמן. He's angry all the time. Poor guy. מנומס, polite. Or for a female, מנומסת. היא ילדה מנומסת מאוד. She's a very polite girl. קפדן, strict. קפדן, for a female, קפדנית. הבוס שלי נורא קפדן. My boss is really strict. נמרץ, lively. נמרץ, for a female, נמרצת. סבתא שלי די מבוגרת, אבל נמרצת מאוד. My grandmother is quite old, but she's very lively. רגזן, short-tempered. רגזן, for a female, רגזנית. החתול שלי רגזן מאוד. My cat is very short-tempered. It's just for the example though, he's a very convenient cat. 10 foods that will make you live longer. Exciting. אבוקדו. אבוקדו. חברה שלי נועה שונאת אבוקדו. My friend Noah hates avocado. She obviously doesn't know what's good for her. So. אגוז מקדמיה. מקדמיה nut. הוא אוכל אגוז מקדמיה אחד כל בוקר. He eats one macadamia nut every morning. That's an odd habit. אוכמנית, blueberry. The plural is אוכמניות. סבתא שלי מכינה רובת אוכמניות מצוינת. My grandmother makes great blueberry jam. That's a lie, because we don't really have blueberries in Israel, I think. We don't grow them here at least. Banana, banana. הוא אוכל רק בננות ירוקות. He eats only green bananas. דג, fish. There's a famous Moroccan dish, well, it's famous in Israel, called חריימה. חריימה הוא דג חריף ברוטב עגבניות. חריימה is a spicy fish in tomato sauce. טופו, טופו. הכנתי אורז מטוגן עם טופו. I made stir fried rice with tofu. Stir fried. שום, garlic. לשום יש טעם חזק מאוד. Garlic has a very strong taste. שיבולת שועל, oatmeal. So it's a bit different because when we say שיבולת שועל in Hebrew we mean the raw material, you know, the dry things you cook the oatmeal with. So if you're talking about like what you made for breakfast, this like bowl of like gooey white dish, you would say דייסת שיבולת שועל. את אוהבת דייסת שיבולת שועל? Do you like oatmeal? תה ירוק, green tea. אתה מעדיף קפה או תה ירוק? Do you prefer coffee or green tea? זית. זית, olive. Plural is זיתים. אני אוהבת זיתים שחורים. I like black olives.
Want to speak real Hebrew from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at HebrewPod101.com.
Hello everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Hebrew Top Words. Today we're going to talk about 20 travel phrases you should know. Let's get started. אפשר לקבל מפה? Could I get a map? אפשר לקבל מפה? Could I get a map? Obviously you can hear the closeness between the word map and mapa. And I think probably the origin is like Greek or something like that, and it just, you know, found its way into all the different languages. אתה מדבר אנגלית? Do you speak English? אתה מדבר אנגלית? Do you speak English? Well, obviously, if somebody speaks English, he can answer you that question even if you ask it in English. יש אוטובוס משדה התעופה לעיר? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? יש אוטובוס משדה התעופה לעיר? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? Yeah, that's always very useful. I suggest you ask this question like at the information center inside the airport and not just go outside and start asking people, because most people have their own arrangements of getting to their own places, and, you know, just talk to people who know stuff, you know? יש אינטרנט אלחוטי בחינם? Is there free Wi-Fi? יש אינטרנט אלחוטי בחינם? Is there free Wi-Fi? Now this is a question that I can relate to. If you want to ask, like, what's the Wi-Fi password in Israel, then you should ask, מה הסיסמה ל-Wi-Fi? If you say Wi-Fi, people know what that is. So just ask, מה הסיסמה? יש לכם חדרים פנויים הלילה? Do you have any vacancies tonight? יש לכם חדרים פנויים הלילה? Do you have any vacancies tonight? Girl, if you didn't pre-order your rooms in advance, like, I don't know, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? Just, whatevs. אני יכול לעבור לחדר אחר? Could I move to a different room? אני יכול לעבור לחדר אחר? Could I move to a different room? I don't normally do this unless the room is really bad or it smells. That happened to me before, like when the room just smells out of nowhere. הזמנתי מקום. I have a reservation. הזמנתי מקום. I have a reservation. So this one you can use in both restaurants or hotels, or, you know, whenever you make a reservation to. Sometimes it could even be a bus. So that's really useful. אפשר לקבל תפריט בבקשה? Could we have the menu, please? אפשר לקבל תפריט בבקשה? Could we have the menu, please? Yeah, sometimes they just forget. Like they sit you down, you're at the table. Sometimes they'll even give you water and no menu, so that's kind of funny. יש לך המלצות? Do you have any recommendations? יש לך המלצות? Do you have any recommendations? So I think, like, in Israel generally, if you ask the waiter if he has recommendations, then he will tell you what he personally likes. Whereas in other places, they would like, oh, do you have recommendations? And they'll tell you, yeah, this and it's very popular. So I don't know what you guys prefer, but I kind of prefer the waiter's own preference, because he probably ate all of the dishes in the menu and he knows what up, you know? אפשר לקבל את החשבון? Could I have the check? אפשר לקבל את החשבון? Could I have the check? Yeah, or you can just like... And I think that's like an international thing, you know, check please, but you'll be surprised, some countries. אני אלרגי לבוטנים. I'm allergic to peanuts. אני אלרגי לבוטנים. I'm allergic to peanuts. That's really important if you're going to restaurants and if you have any sorts of allergies. So you should mention that and you should really make it clear. And funny story, I found out that in Israel, there are much less peanut allergies than any other place in the world because there's a peanut snack that parents just shove to their kids since they're like 0 age, and apparently that kind of immunes them towards peanut allergies, and it's very rare, so yay. מים בבקשה. Water please. מים בבקשה. Water please. Yeah, water in restaurants. You should know that you're always supposed to get tap water for free, so remember that. כמה זה עולה? How much is this? כמה זה עולה? How much is this? Also a very useful phrase. You can ask that when you're doing shopping and clothes and like when you're buying tickets for something. So useful. אני רוצה 10 כאלה. I'd like 10 of these. אני רוצה 10 כאלה. I'd like 10 of these. Wow. I don't think I've ever bought 10 of anything. אני רוצה את זה. I'd like this. אני רוצה את זה. I'd like this. So out of all the things, this is the thing you want. And you should emphasize, when you say that, you should emphasize the word זה. It. This. אתה יכול לתת לי הנחה? Could you give me a discount? אתה יכול לתת לי הנחה? Could you give me a discount? Now this one you should always say with a smile on your face. And another way of saying it in Hebrew, which is a little bit more common and a little bit more casual, is instead of the verb לתת, to give, use the verb לעשות, to do. אתה יכול לעשות לי הנחה? אתם מקבלים כרטיסי אשראי? Do you take credit card? אתם מקבלים כרטיסי אשראי? Do you take credit cards? Again, usually yes. Another very useful thing to ask with credit cards is if you can put like the tip in a restaurant, if you can put that on the credit card as well. And when you want to ask that, you'd say, אפשר טיפ באשראי? איפה תחנת הרכבת? Where's the train station? איפה תחנת הרכבת? Where's the train station? I feel like this sentence is more useful in places when you have like an underground train, whereas in Israel you have like a train that goes between cities, but sometimes you need to take that to the airport, so it's good to ask. סליחה? כמה עולה נסיעה? Excuse me, what's the fare? סליחה? כמה עולה נסיעה? Excuse me, what's the fare? I guess you'd ask that probably only on a bus in Israel and not in any other place. אתה יכול לצלם אותי בבקשה? Could you take a picture of me, please? אתה יכול לצלם אותי בבקשה? Could you take a picture of me, please? Yeah, so if you're not that much into selfies or you want to get a more panoramic or wide view of what's behind you, then ask somebody. Don't be shy. Okay, that's it for today, everybody. Thank you for watching Hebrew Top Words. We spoke about 20 travel phrases that you should know. Please let me know down below if there's anything else that you want to know and what do you commonly use and if you have a funny story for when you were abroad. I'd love to read all of your comments. Don't forget to like up this video and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to check out HebrewPod101.com for more content, more videos, and more Hebrew. I'll see you next time. Bye. Shalom. Hi everybody, I'm Edith from HebrewPod101.com. Do you know how to say I love you in Hebrew? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say I love you and a special phrase for Valentine's Day. Let's start with the most common phrase. אני אוהב אותך. אני אוהב אותך. I love you. This phrase is direct. You should use it only when you're confessing your love. If you want to be less direct, you can use this phrase. אתה כל כך חשוב לי. אתה כל כך חשוב לי. It means you mean so much to me. Now, if you want to be more romantic in expressing your love for someone, you can say this phrase. מילים לא יכולות לתאר את האהבה שלי אליך. מילים לא יכולות לתאר את האהבה שלי אליך. It means words cannot describe my love for you. Now you know 3 different ways to say I love you in Hebrew. And here's one more. What if you want to spend Valentine's Day with someone special? In that case, you can say, התהיה בן זוגי בחג האהבה. התהיה בן זוגי בחג האהבה. It means, will you be my Valentine? Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. Listen to the expression and repeat after me. I love you. אני אוהב אותך. אני אוהב אותך. You mean so much to me. אתה כל כך חשוב לי. אתה כל כך חשוב לי. Words cannot describe my love for you. מילים לא יכולות לתאר את האהבה שלי אליך. מילים לא יכולות לתאר את האהבה שלי אליך. Will you be my Valentine? התהיה בן זוגי בחג האהבה? התהיה בן זוגי בחג האהבה? Well done! Here's a fun fact. According to Jewish tradition, on Tu B'Av, or the Jewish celebration of love, Jewish girls would go out to dance in borrowed clothes. Do you know why? Jewish girls would go out to the vineyards wearing borrowed white clothes. The clothes were borrowed so that no one could distinguish between the poor and the wealthy, so as not to embarrass anyone. You just learned 3 different ways to say I love you in Hebrew and 1 special phrase for Valentine's Day. I'll see you next time. Toda rabah. Should I? Yes. Wonderful wine.
Okay, nice.
Take it, darling. It looks fabulous in you. Come on, please take it. Please. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, wow. I can't believe it. Do you know 17 ways to wear a scarf? Because I do. I told you I could do this all day. That was a fail. No, yes, no. Oh, look at all this money. Do you want some money? I'll give you. Oh, that's what the young people are doing today, right? I'm just a person. Hi everybody, Edith here. Welcome back, and today we're gonna learn top 10 phrases you'll need for a date. Also, I want to mention that I will speak as a woman inviting a man out. So all of those phrases will be addressed towards a male. Let's begin. רוצה לצאת איתי לארוחת ערב? Would you like to go out to dinner with me? רוצה לצאת איתי לארוחת ערב? Would you like to go out to dinner with me? Yeah, I think like dinner is a more mature kind of a date. I think it's either if you're more far along in your relationship, like maybe you're a bit more mature and you have more money, but most people maybe would just go out for like a coffee or a beer. רוצה לבלות יחד? Would you like to hang out with me? רוצה לבלות יחד? Would you like to hang out with me? I think this is like a very kind of a vague, obscure kind of a way to ask somebody to do something with you. Like, it's nice to hang out, but, you know, be more specific. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to have frozen yogurt? Do you want to, like, buy a dress? Do you want to go to the movies? Like, you know, Don't be so vague. אתה כל כך חמוד. You're so cute. אתה כל כך חמוד. You're so cute. So in Hebrew, when we say the equivalent of cute, which is chamud, it's kind of like friend-zoning somebody, as a matter of fact. It's not like, cute, like he's handsome, like in English. It's just like saying cute to a dog. And there's also a saying a guy would say, call a dog cute. Like, I'm not cute, I'm a man. So if you're a woman and you're telling a guy he's cute, that's not a compliment. אתה נראה נהדר. You look great. אתה נראה נהדר. You look great. You know, sometimes like when you see your date, he just comes over and he really looks sharp. It's like, oh, you look great. Yeah. זה היה ערב נהדר. That was a great evening. זה היה ערב נהדר. That was a great evening. Don't say it if you just had like an okay kind of a time, because the word nehedar in Hebrew, it means actually like, you know, great, like fantastic. And if you really had a fantastic time and you're not trying to like play it cool and you really wanted him to know that you had a good time, then say that. But if you're trying to be cool, you know, say something maybe a bit more mild. אני אתקשר אליך. I'll call you. אני אתקשר אליך. I'll call you. Now guys, especially guys, don't say it if you don't mean it. Just say, it was great seeing you. Okay, bye. That's good enough. אני אסיע אותך הביתה. I'll drive you home. אני אסיע אותך הביתה. I'll drive you home. Not if you had drinks. If you had dinner, you know, a soft drink, then sure, you know, drive him home. Why not? Show him your driving skills. באיזו שעה אתה רוצה להיפגש מחר? What time shall we meet tomorrow? באיזו שעה אתה רוצה להיפגש מחר? What time shall we meet tomorrow? Again, this is like very useful when you just you said tomorrow, but you don't really know exactly when. Is it 7? Is it 8? Is it 8? Then just be more specific and ask him what time. רוצה להיפגש שוב? Can I see you again? רוצה להיפגש שוב? Can I see you again? Yeah, it's like a very direct thing to ask. I don't think I've ever asked it anybody. And you don't really have to. You just can like, yeah, okay, I'll call you, or, you know, or call me. If it's really important to you and, you know, you're not playing any games and you're all being like really straightforward and simple, then you might say, רוצה להיפגש שוב? Can I see you again? רוצה ללכת למקום אחר? Shall we go somewhere else? רוצה ללכת למקום אחר? Shall we go somewhere else? You know, if the bar is too loud, or, you know, maybe smelly from cigarettes, or maybe the restaurant you wanted to go to there's a bit of a line, and you're thinking, okay, let's not waste our time, and maybe you can find someplace that's more comfortable, then you'd ask that, like, שנלך למקום אחר? Okay, so thank you everybody. Today we learned about top 10 phrases you'll need for a date. I hope you have many successful ones, and if you're already in a relationship, you know, just skip the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like up this video, and don't forget to check out HebrewPod101.com. Okay, see you. Bye-bye. להתראות.
You are at a train station platform where you are waiting for your train. There's a small pamphlet sitting on a display case about a new train that will be introduced next year. You decide to pick up and read the pamphlet. What is the main feature and the biggest advantage of the new train? What is the main feature and the biggest advantage of the new train? The main feature of the train is that it is propelled by magnetism. The biggest advantage is that it can reach twice the speeds of any train that runs on tracks.
של הרכבת הוא שהיא מונעת על ידי מגנטיות. היא יכולה להגיע למהירות כפולה מזו של רכבת שנוסעת על פסים.
Hello everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Hebrew Top Words. Today we are going to talk about the 5 biggest festivals in Israel. Let's start. Midburn, 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 Midburn. השנה לא השגתי כרטיס למidburn. This year I didn't get a ticket to Midburn. I actually have never been to Midburn, but it sounds kind of awesome. The meaning of the name is like in the middle. It's in the middle, but it's burning. It's in the desert. Midburn. It's supposed to be like Coachella, I think. It's like the Israeli version of Coachella. It kind of looks like a huge village with weird art installments, and people are dressed with like, you know, sparkles and sequins and stuff. It's supposed to be really fun. I don't think it's an international festival, but maybe there are a few bands from outside of Israel who are performing there. Sometimes it's getting bigger every year, of course. And I hope to go one day, if I get the chance and the guts. Indi Negev. Indi Negev. Indi Negev. Indi Negev. האינדי נגב נערך כל שנה בסתיו. The Indi Negev is held every year in autumn. I've actually been to the Indi Negev. It's also a music festival for indie bands, and it's held in the Negev, which is the desert in southern Israel. And if you have the chance to go, usually it's right before the beginning of the school year in universities and colleges, so you can have like one last huzzah before you start school again, so it's nice. פסטיבל הג'אז בים האדום. Red Sea Jazz Festival. פסטיבל הג'אז בים האדום. Red Sea Jazz Festival. ג'אז בים האדום הוא אירוע מוזיקה בינלאומי. The Red Sea Jazz Festival is an international music event. I think the Red Sea Jazz Festival is the most famous music festival in Israel, and it's true that artists come from all over the world. I've been there once when I was 17 with my brother. It was actually pretty awesome, even though I really hate jazz. Sorry, I do. Festival Arad. Arad Festival. Festival Arad. Arad Festival. פסטיבל ערד הוא מהוותיקים בישראל. The Arad Festival is one of the oldest in Israel. It's true, I think the Arad Festival started like back at the 70s. I think there was a very long time when it didn't happen, but then it kind of started running again, which is nice. I don't know if you guys noticed, but most of the festivals in Israel are being held down south, the desert, even Eilat, which is the southest point. I guess it's just like there's more space. Makes sense. Festival Machol Carmiel. Carmiel Dance Festival. Festival Machol Carmiel. Carmiel Dance Festival. לאוהבי מחול מומלץ להגיע לפסטיבל בכרמיאל. For dance lovers, it is recommended to go to the Carmiel Dance Festival. So I think generally dance festivals are not quite as popular, so that's why this one is being held up north, which is generally a little bit more, like you don't have that many open spaces there. But what can you do? I think people are more into music than dance, generally. Okay, everybody, that's it. Today we've talked about the 5 biggest festivals in Israel. Let me know in the comments below about your festival experiences and if you've ever been to one of the festivals in Israel. Alright, and don't forget to check out HebrewPod101.com for more Hebrew, more content, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, להתראות.
You've decided to study a new language, so now what? Well, you want to become fluent fast, right? Here are the top 5 shortcuts to learning a language. Number 1, create a study schedule and set some goals. Many language learners are unorganized. Creating a schedule allows you to free up time to study consistently. Goals give you motivation and something to strive for. Number 2, make it fun. If you learn how to make your study time enjoyable, chances are you'll be more inclined to study. Watch a TV show with subtitles or listen to some music. Number 3, find a language partner. This is the best way to improve your conversation skills. It will help you gain fluency even faster and increase confidence when speaking. Number 4, use word lists to build up a solid vocabulary. This is a great way to build up your fluency, one word at a time. Luckily, we have all the word lists you need, with a range of topics, from food to love. Choose whichever language you want to study and go. Number 5, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Nothing helps you improve more than correcting your own errors. You're more likely to remember it correctly the next time around. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from them. There's no magical way to learn a new language overnight, but doing all of these can really help your learning process. And remember, if you're interested in getting on the fast track to fluency, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Start learning now.
Want to speak real Hebrew from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at HebrewPod101.com.
Shalom everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Hebrew Top Words, and today we are going to talk about 15 must-know family words. Let's get started. Mishpacha, family. Mishpacha, family. Zot tmuna shel mishpachti. This is a picture of my family. Av, Abba, father. Av, Abba, father. Mi ha'aba shel Mario. Who is Mario's father? So in Hebrew, there are basically 2 ways for saying father or dad, and one of them is Abba, which is the more natural one, a normal one that people use, and it can mean dad or daddy or father also. It's like a real word. It's not just like daddy. And Av is a little bit more biblical and more formal, and people don't usually use it, but it's an important word to know. Obviously, both of the words are very close, with just the difference of 1 letter in the end, so you can understand, but just so you'll know that Av is a bit more serious, I guess. Baal, husband. Baal, husband. Ba'ali ahuv mevashel bishvili. My beloved husband is cooking for me. So, actually now, a lot of women, and especially I guess feminist women, don't want to use the word Baal anymore, because it does come from the word owner, and of course, yes, it comes from the Bible, and back then men used to own women, but since we don't live at that time anymore, many women just don't say that word anymore, and they say an equivalent to my man, which is ishi. Ben, son. Ben, son. הבן שלי סטודנט באוניברסיטה. My son is a university student. This is really easy. The word for son in Hebrew is just the same as the word for boy. Ben. Ach, brother. Ach, brother. לאבא שלי יש 3 אחים. My father has 3 brothers. This is also like a very easy word, ach. If you got your chet right, then you'll be fine. Dod, uncle. Dod, uncle. הדוד שלי רופא. My uncle is a doctor. Another interesting factoid is that the word dod in the Bible doesn't only mean uncle, but sometimes it's used as meaning my love, especially in the Song of Songs and Psalmi. But it doesn't have anything to do, the word uncle and the word my love or lover has nothing to do with each other. So, Saba, grandfather. Saba, grandfather. ירשתי את השעון הזה מסבא שלי. I inherited this clock from my grandfather. So, As you can see, most of the words in Hebrew for like family members are quite short and easy because you use them a lot. Family is very important in Jewish culture and in Israeli culture. It's a very family-oriented culture, I guess. So yeah, like even the words for dad and granddad are very similar. It's Abba and Saba. Em, Ima, mother. Em, Ima, mother. Ima ואבא שלי היו נשואים 50 שנה. My mother and father were married for 50 years. So again, for the word for mom or mother, the word ima is more common and used as mom, mommy, mother. And the word em, again, is more biblical. It's shorter. It's more official. Just the same as we've learned about father. Bat, daughter. בת, daughter. הבת שלנו פרופסורית באוניברסיטה, והבן שלנו איש עסקים. Our daughter is a university professor, and our son is a businessman. Again, very easy, the word for daughter is just the same as the word for girl, בת. אחות, sister. אחות, sister. היא האחות הגדולה שלי, והיא עורכת דין. She's my older sister, and she's a lawyer. אחות, as you can probably tell, sounds very similar to ach, just with a suffix for female. Isha, wife. Isha, wife. He isha ve'em. She's a wife and a mother. The word for wife is the same as the word for woman. It's very simple. It's like, she's my woman, she's my wife. It's the same. And when a man says my wife, he would say, the most common way to hear it is ishti. Chamot, chama. Mother-in-law. Chamot, chama. Mother-in-law. אל תיתן לחמה שתלטנית לרדות בך. Don't be pushed around by an overbearing mother-in-law. It's not just the mothers, everybody, okay? Also, there are two words for the word mother-in-law, and they're very similar, chama and chamot. And they're both used kind of, interchangeably. Savta, grandmother. Savta, grandmother. סבתא מכינה את פאי התפוחים הטוב בעולם. My grandmother makes the best apple pie in the world. Well, I guess American grandmothers. My grandmother made the best rice casserole in the world. בת זוג, בן זוג, partner. בת זוג, בן זוג, partner. הרבה גברים צעירים מחפשים בת זוג. Many young men are looking for a partner. So in Hebrew, again, you always have the difference between male and female, unlike English when partner can be both male and female. So when you're talking about a boy partner, it's ben zug, and a girl partner is bat zug. Like we've learned that ben is boy and bat is girl and also daughter, and ben is also son. It's very, very simple. Doda, aunt. Doda, aunt. הדודה שלי אוהבת פרחים צהובים. My aunt likes yellow flowers. Sometimes we use the word for aunt in Hebrew also when we see just like a woman who's a little bit older, maybe like in her 50s, and she seems to, have this older woman vibe, or when we say about somebody that she dresses older from her age or puts a makeup that makes her look older than her true age, then we can say that she looks like a doda, she looks like an aunt. I don't know why that is, but actually I think that's a very accurate way to say it, like, oh yeah, she looks like a total aunt. So, yeah. Okay, everybody, that's it for today. Today we've learned about 15 must-know family words in Hebrew. Please let me know in the comments below. Tell me about your family and who is your favorite family member. And don't forget to like up this video, subscribe, and check out HebrewPod101.com for more Hebrew, more contents. And I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi, everybody. I'm Idit from HebrewPod101.com. In this lesson, you'll learn some important phrases for Hanukkah in Israel and some valuable cultural tips. In Hebrew, Hanukkah is called Chanukah. Chanukah. Jewish people don't observe Western Christmas. Instead, Hanukkah, or the Festival of Lights, is celebrated over 8 days in November or December each year. Hanukkah commemorates the rededication of the Second Jewish Temple in Jerusalem. On Chanukah, or Hanukkah, Israeli people greet each other by saying Chanukah Sameach. Chanukah Sameach. It means Happy Hanukkah. When you meet someone on Hanukkah, be sure to greet them with this phrase. Chanukah Sameach. Chanukah Sameach. Jewish people celebrate the holiday with special events and customs. The most popular food to eat during Hanukkah is leviva. Leviva. It means potato cake. For Hanukkah, fried potato cakes are a traditional dish. These deliciously crispy cakes are served with sour cream and applesauce. Contemporary recipes feature alternative ingredients, such as pumpkin, cauliflower, and a special Moroccan spice blend. Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what you've learned. Listen to the words and repeat after me. Hanukkah, Chanukah, Chanukah. Happy Hanukkah, Chanukah Sameach. Chanukah Sameach. Potato cake. Leviva. Leviva. Well done! Here's a fun fact. Do you know a special custom Jewish people observe over Hanukkah? Over the 8 days of Hanukkah, a candle is lit each day on a special candle holder called the Chanukiah. That's it! You just learned about how Israeli people celebrate Hanukkah and some important facts about the holiday. Jewish people don't... Sorry, my eyes bounced. My name's Hermione Granger.
You just got off the train at the closest station to your friend's new house, where he's invited you to a party. Which exit should you use to get to your friend's new house? Which exit should you use to get to your friend's new house? Although the east exit would have normally been the closest exit, it's currently under construction, so you should take the south exit instead.
לצאת ביציאה הדרומית.
Shalom everybody, you did hear this is Hebrew Top Words, and today we're going to talk about top 10 must-know vocabulary for the restaurant. Let's start. Meltzau, waiter. Meltzau, waiter. האדון נותן טיפ למלצר. The gentleman is tipping the waiter. So the word adon is not very much used in Hebrew, even less than the word gentleman in English. It's just that Hebrew got to be so casual with the years that people hardly ever use these words anymore. And it's kind of a funny thing to say, but it's still a word that you should know. You will encounter it in maybe even in the newspapers or in books, obviously. So yeah, it's good to know. Meltzarit, waitress. מלצרית, waitress. טליה, מלצרית במסעדה איטלקית. Talia is a waitress in an Italian restaurant. Now this is a much more realistic phrase, like in English, which is not something that happens very often. You have a different word for a male and female doing the same thing. A waiter is מלצר and a waitress מלצרית. תפריט, menu. תפריט, menu. אפשר לראות את התפריט בבקשה? Can I see the menu, please? This is just like a very useful sentence for a restaurant because I'm always that person that takes forever to choose. I'm sorry, I am. So just let me see the menu, okay? Unless it's someplace that I go like every day or like a lot or often, I'm like sitting in front of the menu like. But I'm a good chooser, I have to admit. I like, when I get my dish, everybody's like, oh. הזמנה, order. הזמנה, order. התקשר כדי לבצע הזמנה. Call to place an order. So the word for Hebrew hazmana can also mean a reservation. It can also mean the order that you're taking when you're sitting at the restaurant. And it can also be like a takeaway order that you do by the phone. Very useful word. מים, water. מים, water. תשתה מים כל יום. Drink water every day. Well, of course, but not just every day. You have to drink like 3 liters of water every day, especially now during summer. And you can get tap water for free in any restaurant or bar in Israel, so you should just know that. I think like that's a law or something that you're allowed to get free water. Chef, 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 chef. השף מכין את המנה. The chef is preparing the dish. Is there any language where a chef is not a chef? Chef, chef, her. מסעדה, restaurant. מסעדה, restaurant. הוא הלך למסעדה אחרי העבודה. He went to a restaurant after work. So the word מסעדה is from the word sa'ad, which means to eat or to have a meal. חשבון, bill. חשבון, bill. מלצר, החשבון. Waiter, the bill. The word חשבון in Hebrew also means maths, because you have to do the math to know how much you pay, right? So it just makes sense. So, waiter, the maths. טעים, delicious. טעים, delicious. סחוג עם גבינה לבנה על לחם זה טעים מאוד. סחוג with white cheese on bread is very delicious. Yes, it is, if you like spicy food. מנה עיקרית, main course. מנה עיקרית, main course. המנה העיקרית הערב היא דג על האש. Tonight's main course is grilled fish. Okay, everybody, that's it. Today we talked about 15 must-know vocabulary for the restaurant. Let me know in the comments below about your experiences at restaurants. Good ones, bad ones, funny ones. I sure have a lot of embarrassing ones. So let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like up this video, subscribe, and check out HebrewPod101.com for more Hebrew, more content, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, shalom. Hello everybody, Yidit here. Welcome to Hebrew Top Words, and this week we're going to talk about top 10 phrases your parents always say. Let's get started. תיזהר לך. Be careful. That's like, you're walking on thin ice, buddy. Be careful. Just a disclaimer, my parents never said those things to me because I was an amazing child, but I do have 2 brothers and, תהיה בשקט. Be quiet. I wish just everybody, right? Just everybody to be quiet. תתנהג יפה. Behave. That's like, I think it's not such a bad thing to say. It's like, oh, well, be nice. Even though your friend is a total weirdo who eats his boogers, just be nice. עשה את שיעורי הבית שלך. Do your homework. No TV before you finish. לך לישון. Go to bed. Just a little bit of formaldehyde and just sound asleep. אני סופרת עד 3. I'm going to count to 3. And what? Like nobody ever follows that thread. עצור. Stop. This stop is also like in traffic, like stop, just, yeah. מה אמרת? What did you say? This is like a classic passive-aggressive mother, like, oh, do you want to say that again? You want to say it to my face? Yeah? אני לא צוחקת. I'm not kidding. Why would your child think you're kidding? Nobody's ever kidding. כבה את הטלוויזיה עכשיו. Turn the TV off now. I think probably today it's not so much the TV anymore as like iPad, iPhone, what is it, that thing? Nintendo? I don't know.
The Switch?
Yeah, the Nintendo Switch. Yes. Put your Nintendo Switch down. Just they can just say, put that thing down. Okay, everybody, that's it. We did top 10 phrases your parents always say. Let me know in the comments below some of the gems that your parents say to you. I wouldn't know, again, but let me know. I think it's hilarious. And yeah, don't forget to like up this video, subscribe, check out Hebrew Pod 101 for more content, more Hebrew, and I'll see you all next time. Shalom!
Learning a language requires a huge investment of time and often money as well. Many people are hesitant to put in the amount of effort required to become fluent. But learning a new language can be one of life's most rewarding experiences. Here are 5 reasons to learn a language. Number 1, more opportunities. A new language can open up many new doors. You're able to work in countries other than your own. Tons of employers look to hire multilingual professionals every year. Number 2, meeting new people. Get to know speakers of other languages on a more personal level. Meeting new people is one of the main reasons people begin to study a language. Making new friends is a good enough reason to start studying. Number 3, exploring a different culture. Whether you decide to live abroad or you're just taking a vacation, knowing the local language will allow you to better understand the people. This can open your eyes to not only their country, but your country as well. Learn how people view your home from their perspective. Number 4, health benefits. Studying a new language actually comes with health benefits. Keep your brain sharp by studying every day. You'll be helping your mind fight off old age and stay fresh. Number 5, discover you can do it. We've heard every excuse that people give for failing to learn a new language. Too old, not enough time, wrong genes. But you shouldn't let your excuses hold you back. You really can learn another language. You could even hold your first conversation just a few days from now. Don't make any more excuses. Just click to start speaking the language you've always wanted to learn. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Stop hesitating and start learning a new language now.
Want to speak real Hebrew from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at HebrewPod101.com.
Shalom everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Hebrew Top Words, and today we are going to talk about the 10 top tourist attractions in Israel. Let's begin. Eilat, 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 Eilat. בחודשי הקיץ, הטמפרטורה באילת גבוהה מאוד. In the summer months, the temperature is very high in Eilat. That's true, it's a desert area, but also it's dry heat, so it's not as bad. It's very dry, so you don't sweat as much, but you do have to be careful not to dehydrate and also, protect yourself from the UV rays. But it's nice. Yam HaMelach, Dead Sea. Yam HaMelach. the Dead Sea. מי ים המלח מלוחים מאוד. Dead Sea water is very salty. So in Hebrew, actually, the name is not the Dead Sea, but actually the Salt Sea, which makes sense. It has an extremely high percent of salt and like phosphates, I guess, and other type of minerals. It's supposed to be very healthy for your body, unless you have any open wounds, which in that case, ow. But it is very healthy. The sun doesn't, they say that because it's so low beneath the sea level, that the sun doesn't hit there the same as other places, so you don't get as much UV as you do in places that are sea level or up, which somehow makes sense, but I wouldn't take the chance and I would still put on a lot of cream. Yerushalayim, Jerusalem. Yerushalayim, Jerusalem. בירושלים חיים למעלה מ-800,000 תושבים. There are more than 800,000 inhabitants living in Jerusalem. I guess so. I've never checked. It is a very interesting city. There is a lot to do there. Even if you're not into all the religious things, it's a nice place to visit, to hang around. They have some really awesome cafes, cool universities, cool subculture. Yeah, it's nice. Kinneret, the Sea of Galilee. Kinneret, the Sea of Galilee. רכבנו סביב הכינרת. We rode around the Sea of Galilee. Yeah, that's a very beautiful area right there. I think one of my favorite places to go if I want to go to like a resort in Israel is around there. Even though down south at the desert they have really interesting stuff too. It's a lovely place. Unfortunately, sometimes it gets smaller and smaller because it doesn't rain so much in Israel sometimes, but it's okay. We're doing okay. It's fun. You can do like marine sports there too. Yeah, cool place. מכתש רמון. מכתש רמון. מכתש רמון. מכתש רמון. מכתש רמון הוא המכתש הגדול בישראל. מכתש רמון is the largest crater in Israel. Honestly, I think it's also the largest natural crater in the world. I know that geologists go there all the time to do research and like seminars and stuff like that. It's supposed to be a super interesting place. I personally have never been, maybe because my parents were too concerned about my allergies, which it makes sense. Every time I go to the desert, they just flare up. But it's an amazing place and you should visit. מצדה, מסדה, מצדה, מסדה. למצדה סיפור היסטורי מעניין. Masada has an interesting historical story. Don't ask me about it. I'm not that good in history. I'm good in biology. But it is very interesting to go there. You see a lot of things that were amazingly preserved because of the dry weather over there. It is in the desert. Every time I went, I got allergies again. So I didn't went there a lot, but it is interesting. And sometimes you can also have amazing concerts there at night. And because of the ancient buildings and ancient, ruins, and you see all the lights, and you get like this opera show or something, it's very intense. Caesarea, Caesarea. Caesarea, Caesarea. בקיסריה נותרו שרידים רבים מתקופת הרומאים. In Caesarea, there are many relics from the Roman era. That's true. It's also another very interesting historical place. And also very beautiful, very romantic. Some people get married there. There is, I think, even a golf course somewhere around there. They have a lot of very expensive neighborhood that there are the homes of the richest people in Israel. And it's a beautiful place. Yeah, you should go, definitely. Tel Aviv, Tel Aviv, Tel Aviv, Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv היא עיר מודרנית ותוססת. Tel Aviv is a modern, vibrant city. Yeah, well, that's my favorite place in Israel, obviously. This is where I was born and raised. It's a beautiful place. It's an awesome place. There's lots to do, great food, a lot of hipsters. I love hipsters. And yeah, it's great. If you want to have fun, go to parties, go to the beach, meet new people. That's the place. Yafo, Jaffa. Yafo. Jaffa. יפו היא עיר נמל עתיקה. Jaffa is an old port city. So actually Tel Aviv and Jaffa are the same jurisdiction, it's the same city. Yafo is beautiful, there are many things to do there. Flea market and the beach and Andromeda's rock, and you have some restaurants there, and you have the old city. And I remember actually, beautiful memory, when I was in the 2nd grade, we had like a sunrise tour. So it started like around 3 a.m. We started walking through the streets of Old Town Jaffa, and then we like stood on some hill somewhere and saw the sunrise, and it was amazing. It was my first time for me in my life to see the sunrise. It was beautiful. Sde boker, sde boker, sde boker, sde boker. משדה בוקר ניתן לצאת לטיולים במדבר. From sde boker you can go on desert hikes. Everything that I can't do, desert and hikes. It is an interesting place. The first Prime Minister of Israel used to live there, so you can see the little hut, shack, that he used to live in. Teaches you a lesson about modesty and, being satisfied with only having, small place to live, small things, nothing fancy. Yeah. Okay, everybody, that's it. These are the top 10 tourist attractions in Israel. Please let me know in the comments below if you visited any of them. Where would you want to go first? If there's anything that we forgot to mention that is very important that you love to go. And yeah, that's it. Don't forget to like up this video, subscribe, and don't forget to check out HebrewPod101.com for more Hebrew, more content, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, shalom.
You are at a train station where you're heading to the Lost and Found office to retrieve a lost passport. According to an email you received from the train company, what things do you need to provide to the staff? What things do you need to provide to the staff? The email says that you need to present proof of identification and to pay a small fee.
תעודה מזהה, תשלום סמלי.
Shalom everybody, Dit here. Welcome to Hebrew Top Words. Today we are going to talk about top 10 ways to prepare for your travel. Let's begin. לבחור יעד, to choose your destination. לבחור יעד, to choose your destination. כבר בחרת יעד לטיול? Have you chosen your destination yet? What's your next destination to travel? I think mine would probably be Australia or Spain. Either way. לקנות מדריך טיולים. To buy a guidebook. לקנות מדריך טיולים. To buy a guidebook. קניתי מדריך טיולים עם המלצות מצוינות. I bought a guidebook with excellent recommendations. When I had my trip to Thailand after I finished the army, I was 21, that was 6 years ago. I still used a book from one of those really famous companies that do guidebooks. But now, wherever I go, I don't even use a book anymore. I just use the internet, and even when I'm at the place, I use the internet for recommendations, and I use Yelp. So it's amazing, in less than 10 years, just 6 years, how things have changed. That's pretty unbelievable. לחסוך כסף, to save money. לחסוך כסף, to save money. אני חוסכת כסף כבר שנתיים. I'm saving money for 2 years now. Well, I guess that depends where you want to go. Maybe some places you don't have to save as much money, or maybe if it's just a short trip. You should be comfortable when you travel and have enough money to spend on things that you want and have nice dinners. And so it's better to have it more further apart, I guess, and just be okay with the money than like go every year and just be like very skimgy about it. That's my opinion. להזמין טיסה, to book a flight. להזמין טיסה, to book a flight. הזמנתי טיסה ישירה לתל אביב. I booked a direct flight to Tel Aviv. I don't want to like throw shade, but choose the companies that you fly with, the airlines that you fly with, carefully. לברר אודות עלויות, to research the costs. לברר אודות עלויות, to research the costs. האם ביררת אודות עלויות מזון ולינה? Have you already researched accommodation and food costs? So yeah, that's like super important. Sometimes you go to places and you don't realize how much money you're going to spend on food. Accommodations you usually know because you order it in advance in most places. But with food, just can be a mystery. להזמין מקומות לינה, to book accommodations. להזמין מקומות לינה, to book accommodations. בעונת התיירות חשוב להזמין מקומות לינה מראש. During the touristic season, it's important to book accommodations ahead. Oh, that's very true. Of course, now it might be a bit easier with like Airbnb and stuff like that, but still, like, when there is no place to sleep, there is no place to sleep. לחדש דרכון, to renew your passport. לחדש דרכון, to renew your passport. אם הדרכון פג תוקף, חשוב לחדש אותו. If your passport is expired, it's important to renew it. It happened to me. Some countries request for at least 6 months left on your passport before you go. Like, if you have 5 months before it's expired or like 4 less than that, you won't be able to enter the country. And I didn't know that for some place, and that happened to me. It's really bad. So even if you have like another 6 months left on your passport, renew it anyway. לארוז, to pack. לארוז, to pack. אני מתכננת לארוז בלילה לפני הטיסה. I'm planning to pack on the night before the flight. Well, if you're very used to it, then that's not a problem. But if you're not using to pack your things, maybe you should start before and not just the night before you go. Some people have like an already made list of the things that they always take with them, but people who don't travel quite as much, they don't have it. So don't do it like just the night before. Like, plan ahead, guys, okay? And don't just throw anything in the luggage anyway, okay? Like, this is no. Put it in an orderly fashion, please, please. לרכוש ביטוח נסיעות. To buy travel insurance. לרכוש ביטוח נסיעות. To buy travel insurance. לכל צרה שלא תבוא, כדאי לרכוש ביטוח נסיעות. For any trouble, it's better to buy travel's insurance. I have to admit I don't usually do that. Unless I go for a really long time. But I don't usually do that. להוציא ויזה. To get a visa. להוציא ויזה. To get a visa. לארצות מסוימות צריך להוציא ויזה מראש. For several countries, you must get a visa in advance. Especially the US, I think that's a super long process, so you should start doing that at least 6 months before you plan on going. Some other places too, I guess. Just make sure, like, what are the demands of your destination country from your passport country, I guess. Okay, everybody, that's it. Today we've talked about 10 top ways to prepare for your travel. Let me know in the comments below if you have any tips, tricks, or any like funny stories from your traveling. If you travel to Israel or anywhere else, something like really amusing that happened that you can never forget. Don't forget to like up this video, subscribe, check out HebrewPod101.com for more content, more Hebrew, and I'll see you all next time. Bye! Hello everybody, Dit here, welcome to Hebrew Top Words, and today we are going to talk about top 10 phrases to know when having a baby. Let's get started. להניק, to breastfeed. להניק, to breastfeed. להניק היא פעולה שגבר לעולם לא יוכל להרגיש. No man would understand how it feels to breastfeed. Yeah, I guess not. Maybe technology someday, you know, maybe. להחליף חיתול. To change a diaper. להחליף חיתול. To change a diaper. שני ההורים צריכים לדעת איך להחליף חיתול. Both parents should know how to change a diaper. Duh. להלביש סינר. To put on a bib. להלביש סינר. To put on a bib. תראה איך הוא מלכלך את החולצה. תלביש לו סינר. Look how he's messing his shirt. Put a bib on him. It all goes to the laundry anyway, it's whatever. You're gonna change his clothes 10 times a day anyway, no? להחליף בגדים. To change clothes. להחליף בגדים. To change clothes. אין דבר. נחליף לו בגדים אחר כך. It's okay. We'll change his clothes later. It's exactly what I said. לשיר שיר ערש. To sing a lullaby. לשיר שיר ערש. To sing a lullaby. הילד שלי לא נרדם מבלי ששרים לו שיר ערש. My kid doesn't fall asleep without a lullaby. My dad used to sing me lullabies when I was like a kid, and he chose the most horrific songs, and he thought I wouldn't understand like the words that he's saying or the lyrics, but I did, and I was traumatized, and I'm still afraid of clowns till this day. So yeah. It was about like a clown in the circus, and his father was a contortionist, and then one day he fell off the trapeze and broke his neck, but the kid who was a clown had to keep on smiling because that was his job, but nobody knew that he was crying from inside. It's just horrible. שמש עולה יורד גם הליל, אך הליצן עוד ממשיך וצוהל. Shivers. לנמנם. To take a nap. לנמנם. To take a nap. תינוקות רבים נוהגים לנמנם אחר הצהריים. Many babies take a nap during the afternoon. And me. לקנות מושב לאוטו. To buy a car seat. לקנות מושב לאוטו. To buy a car seat. עוד לפני הלידה חשוב לקנות מושב לאוטו. Even before birth, it's important to buy a car seat. And, you know, check that it's up to the highest safety standards and stuff because it's super important. להאכיל. To feed. להאכיל. To feed. התינוקת עצבנית. כדאי להאכיל אותה בקרוב. The baby girl is cranky. We should feed her soon. I know this as hangry. I get to be that a lot. להסיע עגלה. To push a stroller. להסיע עגלה. To push a stroller. התינוקת שלי נהנית כשאני מסיעה אותה בעגלה. My baby enjoys it when I push her in the stroller. Yeah, I think that's a good way to make babies fall asleep, right? Just like the vibrations. להקריא סיפור. To read a story. להקריא סיפור. To read a story. האם מקריאה סיפור לילדים. The mother reads a story to the children. Yeah, that was my favorite when I was a girl. I still love stories till this day. Okay, guys, that's it. This was top 10 phrases to know when having a baby. Let me know in the comments below, do you have a baby? If you have like a funny story about being a new parent. I am not a parent yet, so I think maybe it could help me out. And don't forget to check out HebrewPod 101 for more Hebrew, more content, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye! Just buy baby food. Why make baby food? Just, it comes in a little can. Tastes good. I tried it. Hello everybody, Dit here. Welcome to Hebrew Top Words, and today we are going to talk about top 10 phrases tourists should never say. Let's get started. זה מגעיל. That's disgusting. זה מגעיל. That's disgusting. It's just, what? Don't say that ever about anything. Just no. You can think it. Don't say it. המדינה שלי יותר טובה. My country is better. המדינה שלי יותר טובה. My country is better. Sad. Just sad. הייתי מעדיף להיות בבית. I'd rather be back home. הייתי מעדיף להיות בבית. I'd rather be back home. Why even travel or leave your house if you'd just rather be home? It's weird. סתום את הפה. Shut up. סתום את הפה. Shut up. Don't. Super rude. It's embarrassing for me to even say it. But I guess it's a useful phrase in Hebrew because sometimes you don't say it like to people that you don't know. Sometimes you use it in an argument, and that could be okay. אני לא מעוניין בתרבות שלך. I'm not very interested in your culture. אני לא מעוניין בתרבות שלך. I'm not very interested in your culture. Again, why travel if you're not interested in other people's cultures? אני לא אוהב לפגוש אנשים חדשים. I don't like meeting new people. אני לא אוהב לפגוש אנשים חדשים. I don't like meeting new people. Okay. That's such a bad thing. You can learn so much from new people, and even if you don't like them, you just become a better person just by the fact that you had to pretend to be nice. So I think, yeah, just meet new people sometimes. בואו פשוט נאכל במקדונלדס. Let's just eat at McDonald's. בואו פשוט נאכל במקדונלדס. Let's just go eat at McDonald's. That's really offensive. Like, just McDonald's in itself is offensive. Just don't do that to your bodies, okay? No matter where you are. Unless you're really in dire straits. It's better than not eating. משעמם. Boring. משעמם. Boring. This one's useful. Not when you're traveling, but it's useful. יש לזה טעם נוראי. This tastes awful. יש לזה טעם נוראי. This tastes awful. Just don't say it, but don't eat it. אני מתכוון לבלות את היום בבית המלון. I'm going to spend the day in the hotel. אני מתכוון לבלות את היום בבית המלון. I'm going to spend the day in the hotel. If you're at a resort, that's okay. Yeah. All right, everybody, that's it. Those were the top 10 phrases tourists should never say. Please don't ever say them to anybody, and let me know in the comments down below if anybody have ever been super rude towards you, or even kind of secretly rude, trying to hide it. And don't forget to check out HebrewPod101.com for more content, more Hebrew, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. Shalom, everybody. Edith here. Okay, just help. Strong, independent woman. Okay. Shalom, everybody. Edith here. Welcome to Hebrew Top Words. Today we are going to talk about your top 10 language learning goals for the year. Let's start. אסיים את סדרת ביטויי ההישרדות ב-HebrewPod101.com על ידי כך שאקשיב לשני שיעורים מדי יום. I'll finish Survival Phrases series on HebrewPod101.com by listening to 2 lessons a day. So the survival series is pretty much like the most basic things that you need to know if you're going even just to visit Israel, not even if you're just going to move or do an aliyah. If you're just going to visit, the survival phrases would really help you get around, and that's really important, so do that. אסיים לקרוא ספר בעברית על ידי כך שאקרא 10 עמודים ביום. I'll finish reading one Hebrew book by reading 10 pages a day. So I think reading 10 pages a day is a pretty realistic goal for reading, and it doesn't have to be like a very complicated book, or you can get something a little bit more simple. There are a lot of youth books in Hebrew as well, and youth series, so you can read one of those, and reading 10 pages of these a day is not that hard. אעבור את המבחן בעברית. I'll pass my Hebrew test. Yay! Though in here we're not just passing, it should be a perfect score, 100%, right? אבין באופן מוחלט סרט אחד בעברית על ידי כך שאצפה בו כל יום. I'll fully understand one Hebrew movie by watching it every day. Well, I guess this one is not for everybody. I'm the kind of person who can watch a movie and then now you don't have to rewind anymore, but I'll finish it and then I'll just watch it again directly after, immediately after. A lot of people only watch movies once, but if you're not that type of person, then that could be a good tip for you. אזמין אוכל ממסעדה ישראלית בעברית מבלי להתבלבל. I will order food from an Israeli restaurant in Hebrew without getting confused. Well, sometimes when you're standing in front of a stranger and you want to talk a foreign language, a language that you're learning, that's the moment when that's the true test, standing in front of somebody you don't know and speaking their language. But don't be shy, heaven knows Israeli people aren't shy about their English or anything else, so just do it, and if you get confused, they'll just fix you, or maybe they'll move to English because they'll want to practice their English, but you can politely ask to speak Hebrew. אשנן 5 שירים בעברית. I'll memorize 5 Hebrew songs. Oh God, there are some amazing Hebrew songs out there. Okay, so one of my personal favorite songs, and it's a really fun song, is called Haidische Rastaman, which is the Jewish Rastaman, and it's a song by Ehud Banai. And I can write it down for you in Hebrew in the comments below if you want to. And it's a really fun song, and that's a good one to start learning Hebrew. It's not too fast-paced. So, yeah, it's like a reggae kind of a... If you guys want any recommendations, write to me down below, and I'll give you my favorite ones. אסיים לשנן 350 מילים עם כרטיסיות HebrewPod101.com. I'll finish memorizing 350 words with flashcards on HebrewPod101.com. So, to me, I think flashcards is a very good way for memorizing. I think for words is especially words or verbs, that's really easy. Right now, I'm studying Japanese, so I'm memorizing kanji with flashcards, which is a whole different story, but that's a really good method. אלמד איך לדבר על אירועי עבר, הווה, ועתיד. I'll learn how to talk about past, present, and future events. Yeah, so the good thing about Hebrew is that you only have 3 tenses, unlike English when you have 12. So that kind of makes things easy, right? אשלוט ב-150 מילים על ידי כך שאשנן 5 מילים מדי יום. I'll master 150 words by memorizing 5 words every day. So, you should give yourself realistic goals. If you're going to try and study 150 words, you're not just going to do that in 1 week. But learning 5 words a day and just memorizing them and knowing, okay, these 5, I know for sure, but it's just 5 and it's just 1 day, then little by little, you'll just learn all the 150, and that's quite a lot for your vocabulary, especially in Hebrew that doesn't have that many words. אצליח לצפות במהדורת החדשות בעברית ולהבין אותה. I'll manage to watch and understand the news in Hebrew. Well, I think that's really advanced sometimes, they talk about stuff and it's what are you talking about? If it's one of those open panel shows, then they shout and they yell and they get really upset about things, and that's kind of hard to understand when you're new to Hebrew, or even if you're intermediate. But that's a good goal to reach because the news are a very important thing in Israel, and you can listen to them on the radio every hour. And in the radio, it's very clear and very proper Hebrew as well. So maybe that's a better starting point, actually. Okay, that's it for today. We're finished with what are your top 10 language learning goals for this year. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? What are your favorite Hebrew songs? What are your goals for this year? And if you want any recommendations on some songs, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And I'll see you all next time. Litraot!
Want to speak real Hebrew from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at HebrewPod101.com.
Hi everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Hebrew Top Words, and today we are going to talk about 10 most romantic ideas for a date. Let's start. ארוחת ערב לאור נרות. Candlelit dinner. ארוחת ערב לאור נרות. Candlelit dinner. לדייט הראשון שלנו, יצאנו לארוחת ערב לאור נרות. On our first date, we went out to a candlelit dinner. It's kind of intense for our first date, no? לשחק באולינג. To go bowling. לשחק באולינג. To go bowling. מתחשק לך אולי ללכת לשחק באולינג? Are you in the mood to go bowling? That's kind of a cute date, isn't it? I don't think people do that anymore, though. Like, I don't know of any bowling alleys that exist anymore. Too bad. ללכת לאקווריום. To go to the aquarium. ללכת לאקווריום. To go to the aquarium. באילת אפשר ללכת לאקווריום התת-ימי. In Eilat, you can go to the undersea aquarium. Now that's a really good idea on a date. Like, that's fun. No matter your age, like kid, adult, old person, teenager, I mean, an aquarium is pretty fun, in my opinion. ללכת לאופרה. To go to the opera. ללכת לאופרה. To go to the opera. זוגות רבים נהנים ללכת יחד לאופרה. Many couples are enjoying going to the opera. I've been to the opera before, and it's definitely not a good date idea or just a good idea in general. ללכת לארוחת ערב וסרט. To have dinner and see a movie. ללכת לארוחת ערב וסרט. To go on a dinner and see a movie. הדייט הקלאסי הוא לצאת לארוחת ערב ולראות סרט. The classic date is to go on a dinner and see a movie. Yeah, it's fun. And then after the movie, like, you have something to talk about over dinner because you've just watched a movie. לעשות פיקניק. To have a picnic. לעשות picnic. To go on a picnic. בימים יפים אפשר לעשות פיקניק בפארק. On nice days, you can have picnic at the park. And then ants. Right? Yeah. לקחת הפלגה. To take a ferry ride. לקחת הפלגה. To take a ferry ride. חברה שלי הפתיעה אותי עם הפלגה רומנטית בשקיעה. My girlfriend surprised me with a romantic sunset ferry ride. I don't think there's a place you can do that in Israel. But a lot of places that have like rivers and stuff, yeah, sure. ללכת על החוף. To walk on the beach. ללכת על החוף. To walk on the beach. אולי, במקום לשבת במסעדה, נצא להליכה על החוף. Maybe, instead of sitting in a restaurant, we can go for a walk on the beach. That's a nice idea, isn't it? I really like the beach. I don't like so much going into the water, but walking is great. ללכת למוזיאון. To go to the museum. ללכת למוזיאון. To go to the museum. רוצה ללכת למוזיאון? שמעתי על תערוכה מעניינת. Want to go to the museum? I've heard about an interesting show. To me that's more of like a girlfriend's kind of a thing, but you know, If both people like museums, then why not? It's kind of romantic. לקחת שיעור כדרות. To take a pottery class. לקחת שיעור כדרות. To take a pottery class. בוא ניקח יחד שיעור כדרות. Let's take a pottery class together. I've never done that. I would love to do that, actually. Maybe not on a date. That's kind of, Patrick Swayze on Ghost kind of a vibe, but yeah, it sounds fun. Alright guys, so these were the 10 most romantic ideas for a date. Let me know in the comments below about maybe some of your dates that you had before and about good dating ideas. And don't forget to check out Hebrew Pod 101 for more Hebrew, more content, and I'll see you all next time. Shalom! Hello everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Hebrew Top Words, and today we are going to talk about 10 top phrases to help you in an emergency. Let's start. התקשר למשטרה בבקשה. Call the police, please. התקשר למשטרה בבקשה. Call the police, please. If it's really an emergency, you don't have to say please. Alright? יש לך חום? Do you have a fever? יש לך חום? Do you have a fever? If you do have a fever and it's not just like a cold or something, you really should see a doctor. It's really important. איבדתי את הדרכון שלי. I lost my passport. איבדתי את הדרכון שלי. I lost my passport. You can also say passport and people will understand because sometimes in Hebrew we say passport, but usually we say darkon from the word derech, which means way, because it gives way for you to go places. אני לא מרגיש טוב. I don't feel well. אני לא מרגיש טוב. I don't feel well. That's a very general way of saying that you're not feeling well, but if you're at the doctor's office, you will have to specify a little bit further than that. אני צריך רופא. I need a doctor. אני צריך רופא. I need a doctor. Doctor in Hebrew is רופא, and if you translate it to English, it basically means like a healer, but it's not like the cosmic kind of a healer with the gems and crystals. It's just like that's the meaning of the word. אני לא מצליח למצוא את הדרך חזרה למלון שלי. I can't find the way back to my hotel. אני לא מצליח למצוא את הדרך חזרה למלון שלי. I can't find the way back to my hotel. Luckily today most people have smartphones and they have a map application, so you can ask pretty much anybody to just put the address or the name of the hotel and they can show you how to go. So that's a big relief. יש בית מרקחת בסביבה? Is there a pharmacy nearby? יש בית מרקחת בסביבה? Is there a pharmacy nearby? In Israel, on Saturdays, usually most pharmacies and any other shops are closed, but there's always one that's supposed to be open 24/7. So if it is Saturday and you're stuck, you should ask for this specific one that is open. אתה יכול לעזור לי? Can you help me? אתה יכול לעזור לי? Can you help me? To help in Hebrew is לעזור. And I ask that for people a lot when I'm at the supermarket and I can't reach the top shelf. אני צריך אמבולנס. I need an ambulance. אני צריך אמבולנס. I need an ambulance. Luckily, that's the same word in Hebrew as it is in English, so whoever you say that to, they would understand even if you don't know the rest of the sentence. It's good enough that you say ambulance and they'll get it. They will call. היכן בית החולים? Where is the hospital? היכן בית החולים? Where is the hospital? In Hebrew, the word hospital is translated to sick people's home, So beit is home or house, and cholim is sick people. Okay, everybody, that's it. Those were 10 phrases to help you in an emergency. I hope you would never have to use them. So yeah, please let me know in the comments below if you have any good or bad experiences in the world with any emergencies, and if you've encountered anything like that. Don't forget to check out HebrewPod 101 for more videos, more Hebrew, and more content. And I will see you all next time. Bye, litrot. Hello everybody, Edith here. Welcome to Hebrew Top Words. And today we are going to talk about 5 most popular Israeli bands. Let's go. Hadag Nachash. Hadag Nahash. Hadag Nachash. Hadag Nahash. Hadag Nachash היא להקת היפ-הופ פופולרית. Hadag Nahash is a popular hip-hop band. So the name is kind of funny. It means the fish snake, fish snake. But actually it's an acronym. In Israel, when you're a new driver, you have to put a sign on your car that says Nahag Chadash, which means a new driver. So they just took the same letters, mixed them around, and it turned out to be the fish snake. So yeah, that's pretty much it. They really like doing this kind of wordplay, I guess. And talking about cars, one of their most favorite songs is called Shirat HaSticker, which is the song of the sticker. A lot of people in Israel put stickers on their car bumpers, which express like political views or just any other thing, or it could be like a life tip, a life message. And they just they took all of those stickers that you could see and turned them into a song, which is very political, and it's quite good. Machina. 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 Machina היא מהלהקות הישראליות האהובות בכל הזמנים. Machina is one of the most loved Israeli bands of all time. Machina means machine in Russian. They are really a very famous group in Israel. Some people say that they took a lot of their materials from a band called Madness. I don't know if you know, they were popular in the 80s, which is kind of true. But they also have some original stuff, which is very good. So if you want to look it up, I really recommend it. Monica Six. Monica Sex. Monica Sex. Monica Sex. בלהקת מוניקה סקס, 3 נגנים. In Monica Sex, there are 3 members. So as far as I know, the name Monica Sex is referring to Monica Lewinsky and that whole story with Bill Clinton when he said, "I did not have sex with that woman." I don't know why they chose this name for their band, but they're definitely a very, very good band, and they were very influential in the 90s rock scene in Israel. So definitely recommended to listen. Kaveret. Kaveret. כוורת, כוורת. מופע האיחוד של כוורת היה מרגש. Kaveret's reunion concert was moving. Kaveret is, I think, probably the most famous one in Israel. They started back in the 60s or 70s, and after they broke the band, each individual member of the band became famous on their own, and I think some of them were already famous before they started the group. So it's really a bunch of really awesome musicians, and a few years back they did a reunion show, which was really, really moving for a lot of people because many of us kind of grew up on them, on their soundtracks. So yeah. Habanot Nechama. Habanot Nehama. Habanot Nechama. Habanot Nehama. היי, רוצה לבוא איתי להופעה של הבנות נחמה? Hi, want to come with me to a Banot Nehama concert? So I think there's a lot of controversy around Habanot Nechama. I'm not really sure why. It's an all-girl group. That's why they are called Habanot, the girls. and there are 3 women. Each of them is individually a musician by herself. They decided to come together and do this project. I think they're pretty good, but maybe they take some getting used to their music because it can be a little bit monotonous. But I think it's interesting, and it's indie, it's music, it's feministic, it's pretty good. Okay, everybody, that's it. Those are 5 most popular Israeli brands. Let me know in the comments below if there is an Israeli band or artist that you like, if you already know some music. And also, please keep on exploring Israeli music. I think that's awesome. Don't forget to check out Hebrew Pod 101 for more Hebrew, more content, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, litrot.
Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
10 ways to say hello. Let's get started. Boker tov. Good morning. Boker tov. Good morning. Some people, if they're having kind of a bad morning and they don't want to say good morning or boker tov, they would just say boker, morning, obviously. Shalom. Hello. Shalom. Hello. Shalom also means peace in Hebrew. So it's almost kind of Rastafarian, peace. הרבה זמן לא התראינו. Long time no see. הרבה זמן לא התראינו. Long time no see. I guess in Hebrew it's not quite as natural to say as it is in English. So if you really want to be super casual, you can also say something like why, shanim. It's like saying, whoa, ages, without even saying, it has been, just ages. איך הולך איתך? How have you been? איך הולך איתך? How have you been? This is more of a way to ask somebody that you really haven't seen for a while, what has he been up to? And you say it, איך הולך איתך, which is a very casual way of saying it. That's very useful. מה שלומך? How are you? מה שלומך? How are you? שלומך also comes from the word shalom. So literally, it's kind of like asking, how is your peace? איך היום שלך? How is your day? איך היום שלך? How is your day? That's a nice thing to text somebody, like your boyfriend or girlfriend, in the middle of the day, just to see how they're doing. מה קורה? What's up? מה קורה? What's up? There are so many ways of saying it in Hebrew. The most common ones are this one, מה קורה, which is more like what's happening, and also מה נשמע, which is like what's up. ערב טוב, good evening. ערב טוב, good evening. So like English, I think ערב טוב is not something that you would use with your friends or in any casual situation. It's more like when you're going to a restaurant or some sort of a service giver would say that, not like with friends. נעים להכיר אותך. It's nice to meet you. נעים להכיר אותך. Nice to meet you. As a matter of fact, a more common way of saying it is to just drop the last part, dropping the אותך or אותך, and simply say נעים להכיר. It's like saying in English, it's a pleasure. איך הכל? How's everything? איך הכל? How's everything? Also a very friendly way of asking how's life? And if you want to ask how's life, you can ask איך החיים?
In this series, you'll master Hebrew pronunciation. Proper pronunciation is essential in Hebrew, and in this series, you'll learn it in a fast, comprehensive, and easy way. In this first lesson, you'll learn about the building blocks of the Hebrew pronunciation system that will help you in future lessons. The Hebrew alphabet consists of 22 letters, all of which are consonants. A few of these consonants, however, can act like vowels. But be careful not to fall into a very common trap. As you're learning to speak correctly, you shouldn't concern yourself with all the letters. That's right, forget them. You care about the sounds of Hebrew, and here they are. There are 19 consonant sounds and 5 vowel sounds. Each symbol that you see here represents a single sound determined by the IPA, which is a standardized way to represent sounds without the baggage that often comes with traditional letters. By using all of these sounds, you can form every single word in Hebrew. Still seem complicated? Well, how about this? Of the 19 consonant sounds in Hebrew, you already know 16 of the original sounds. That's right. If you're a native English speaker, then you already make these sounds every day. You can also ignore all of the vowel sounds for the same reason. The only thing standing between you and perfect Hebrew pronunciation is 3 new consonant sounds. You can handle that. Now let me introduce Yara, who will be helping you to master these new sounds.
שלום, אני יערה.
Yara will be giving you native pronunciation examples to imitate, but for this first lesson, just sit back and listen to the unique sounds of Hebrew.
רע, צבע, אוכל.
In the next lesson, we'll look at the top 5 pronunciation mistakes Hebrew learners make. You'll want to make sure not to fall into these common traps. After that, we'll begin going through the vowels and consonants of Hebrew. This is your chance to learn how to correctly say all of the words you just heard. We'll finish up the series by covering some special topics that will really make your Hebrew sound natural. To close this lesson, here's a question for you. Why is it important to spend time on learning proper pronunciation, even if you're already an advanced speaker? The answer, you will be understood, and this will help you build more confidence as you communicate in Hebrew. For beginners, you're creating a strong foundation to build on. And for more advanced students, this is your chance to improve your accent and lose any bad habits you may have picked up. In this lesson, you'll learn the top 5 Hebrew pronunciation mistakes to avoid. These are common mistakes that students of Hebrew tend to make. So pay close attention and make sure that you don't make these same mistakes too. Are you ready? Then let's get started. You will recognize the Schwa vowel by the 2 vertical dots underneath the consonant. In Hebrew, many words contain a Schwa vowel. There are 3 different kinds of Schwa vowels. The first kind is a short E-like sound.
ל,
The second is a full stop on the consonant it's underneath.
להתלבש.
And the third is a move to the next consonant without a vowel.
פתוחה.
The resulting combination of consonants often feels unnatural to learners of Hebrew.
כביסה.
Instead of properly combining these letters, new speakers often put a short vowel between the 2. In order to correct this problem, Hebrew students should practice these special letter combinations. Listen to the examples.
גדולה. קטנה. זמן.
Number 2, the Hebrew letter resh. This is a problematic letter for learners of Hebrew, particularly for English speakers, because this R sound does not exist in English. The Hebrew R sound is similar to the German or French R. Unlike the English R, which is pronounced with the tip of the tongue at the front of the mouth, the Hebrew R is pronounced using the back of the tongue with a slight roll. You can think of it like gargling air at the back of your throat. Listen to the following examples.
קר. ראשון. הורים.
We'll teach you how to pronounce this sound in Lesson 6. Number 3, misplacing stress. A common mistake for new speakers of Hebrew is the misplacement of stress. In the beginning, most foreign speakers model their stress patterns after their native language. Correcting this is very easy because most Hebrew words are stressed on the last syllable. Pay attention to the stress pattern in the following Hebrew words.
בגדים. ילדה. ללמוד.
When words aren't stressed on the last syllable, they are part of a very specific group of words, all containing a similar stress pattern.
מדברת. ספר. תפוח.
We'll teach you how to speak Hebrew with the correct stress in Lesson 8. Number 4, foreign words in Hebrew. When you see a word you recognize from your own language in Hebrew, your first instinct is to pronounce it like it is in your own language. However, many foreign words in Hebrew have been modified to have different stress patterns. They may even use different sounds altogether. Pay attention to how native speakers pronounce these words, and you'll learn them quickly. Listen to Yada.
אוניברסיטה, טלוויזיה, סנדוויץ'.
Number 5. While this letter is usually difficult for foreign speakers to pronounce correctly in the beginning, it is also one that many people perfect with a good amount of practice. This is a guttural H, pronounced at the back of the throat. It has a bad reputation because it sounds as though you're bringing up phlegm from your throat. It's possible that non-native speakers are afraid to make this sound, and this is why it has become known as a difficult Hebrew letter to pronounce. There's no need to be afraid of this letter, because this sound is part of what gives Hebrew its uniqueness. Listen and repeat alongside Yada.
חדר, חברה, בחר, נוח.
Practice often, and you'll be sure to master this elusive sound in no time. Now you know the top 5 Hebrew pronunciation mistakes to avoid. This lesson, you'll learn all 5 Hebrew vowel sounds.
א, א, אי, או, או.
By learning all of these sounds, you'll be able to pronounce any vowel that could possibly appear in Hebrew. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first vowel sound is
א, גם, פח, דג.
This vowel sound is very similar to the A in far.
א, א. א, א.
The next vowel sound is
א, של, כן, כהה.
It's very similar to the E in the word education.
א, א. א, א.
The next vowel sound is
אי, מיסים, אימון, תינוק.
This is identical to the I in ski.
אי, 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 אי.
The next vowel sound is
או, שלום, נוער, חלום.
It's very similar to the O sound in the word or.
או, 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 או.
The last vowel sound for this lesson is
U, תמונה, אדומה, מדורה.
This is identical to the U in the word rule.
U, 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 U.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Hebrew pronunciation. Pronunciation refers to the manner in which a word is spoken. So don't focus on reading what's on screen. Instead, focus on listening and repeating. In Hebrew, there are only 22 letters of the alphabet, and technically they're all consonants.
There are also vowel sounds which are shown by the dot system called nikud.
Many of the sounds are similar to English, like b, v, sh, s, and t.
B, v, sh, s, t.
But there are a few sounds you may not recognize at first.
Like ch, ts.
In Hebrew, words are stressed differently than in English. Stress is usually on the last syllable of the word.
Avoda, motzetz, מתלבש.
But in some cases, the stress is on the second to last syllable of the word.
לקוח, נוסע, מתלבשת.
Letters produce consonant sounds. These sounds are combined with vowel sounds indicated by the nikud. Vowel sounds you find in Hebrew are all found in English as well.
A, E, I, O, U.
There are different notations for these vowels, but in most cases, the basic vowel sound stays the same. The pattern of the word and the placement of the vowel determines which vowel symbol will be used.
For example, the word for language, lashon, and the word for crisis, mashber, both have a vowels after the first letter. But because of the way the word is constructed, the vowels are notated differently.
Some letters have two sounds, depending on if there's a stress on the consonant or not.
Bet is both b and v. Kaf is both k and ch. Pei is both p and f.
There is also one other letter that changes sound according to the dot above it.
That's shin and sin. It makes the sh sound when the dot is on the right, and the s sound when the dot is on the left.
The most daunting group of letters are the guttural letters.
A, h, ch, a, r.
3 of these letters are pronounced deep in the throat. These may feel unusual at first, but are fun to say once you get the hang of them.
Ein, chet, resh.
Most of the sounds in Hebrew are already sounds you use in English. That means that if you were to simply imitate a Hebrew speaker, your pronunciation would be correct a lot of the time. For example, listen and repeat after Edith.
Rakevet, rakevet.
Chances are your pronunciation was pretty spot on. The K, V, and T sounds are practically identical to English. It's only the R that's a little different. Focus on this first letter. It's often written as an R, but don't be fooled. This letter is pronounced differently than an English R. It's pronounced at the back of the throat instead of forward in the mouth. Listen to Edith say this letter.
R, r.
It's actually closer to the German or French R, but without the roll. Nearly all sounds in Hebrew are identical to English, like the K, V, and T sounds in this example. Since you already know how to pronounce most of these sounds, we only need to pay attention to the handful of sounds that are completely new to you. They're the ones we need to look out for. In the previous lesson, we taught you how to say thank you in Hebrew. Do you remember what it was? It's
Toda.
well done. Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. In this lesson, you learned that Hebrew has 22 letters, but even more sounds. The extra sounds come from the vowels and the consonants that can represent 2 sounds instead of 1. Many of the sounds in Hebrew are identical to the sounds in English. And there are only a handful of new sounds that you need to learn. We've covered only the basics of Hebrew pronunciation. If you're interested in learning more, check out our Ultimate Guide to Hebrew Pronunciation. In that video series, we teach you how to pronounce every single sound used in Hebrew.
How can you possibly read Hebrew if it doesn't have any vowels? The simple answer to this question is that people who are fluent in Hebrew know which vowels go with different words. For someone who knows any language well, it's really not as hard as it sounds. Try it. Here's a famous quote in English translation, which the vowels removed. Take a minute to read this. Can you figure it out? That which is hateful to you, do not do to your fellow. Was it easier than you thought? Most English speakers don't practice this skill much, but imagine if you did this all the time. In reality, there are a few characters used sometimes to indicate vowel sounds in Hebrew, and even native speakers use them. I'll explain more about this in a later lesson. You now know how native speakers can read Hebrew without vowels. But what about Hebrew learners? There are a couple systems available to help non-native or beginner speakers read Hebrew text. The most common of these is the nikud. Here's an example. תוך מספר שבועות, החנות נסגרה. Do you see these dots and marks? They represent the vowel sounds and are called nikud. We go over this system in more detail in our Hebrew Alphabet Made Easy series. But for now, take comfort that there is help. There is also a number of systems of Roman transliteration. These almost always include vowels to help you read. For example, the sentence above can be read, תוך מספר שבועות, החנות נסגרה. All beginner materials at HebrewPod101.com include this kind of romanization.
10 hardest words to pronounce in Hebrew. So, let's begin. חצוצרה, trumpet. חצוצרה, trumpet. הייתי רוצה לנגן בחצוצרה. I would like to play the trumpet. לצחצח, to brush. חשוב מאוד לצחצח שיניים פעמיים ביום. It is very important to brush your teeth twice a day. Ding. צריכים, must, need. צריכים, must. צריכים is the word must, but in the plural masculine version of this word. הם צריכים, they must, they need. For example, הם צריכים לעזוב את המסיבה מוקדם. They must leave the party early. They must or they need to, or they have to. חתיכה, piece. חתיכה, piece. It's not like these are not tongue twisters, it's for people who can't pronounce ח. אפשר לקבל חתיכת עוגה בבקשה? Can I have a piece of cake, please? מנצנץ, sparkling. I love this word, מנצנץ, sparkling. Yeah, I love this lesson. These are really fun words. It's fun to say. Try it. Come on. Nice. For example, השרשרת שלי מנצנצת. My necklace is sparkly. It's not really, but just, use your imagination. פעלולים. Special effects. פעלולים. But it's more fun saying it fast. פעלולים. So usually like a stuntman will be called פעלולן. Now that I'm saying it over and over again, I'm like, is this a real word? I'm not sure all of a sudden, but it is. Wow. מי היה אחראי על הפעלולים בסרט הזה? Whoa. Who was in charge of the special effects in this movie? שפשוף. rub. This is a noun. The verb will be לשפשף. אם נשפך לכם יין אדום על השטיח, תשפשפו אותו במלח. If you spilled red wine on your carpet, rub it with salt. Someone told me about this method. I did not check it, so I don't really know. לצחקק, to giggle. לצחקק, to giggle. That's a wonderful word. To laugh is לצחוק. So this is like the smaller version of it, לצחקק. And the noun version is צחקוק. צחקוקים, in plural. הם לא הפסיקו לצחקק בזמן שדיברתי. They wouldn't stop giggling while I was talking. How rude. מחצלת, mat. מחצלת, mat. כשאתם הולכים לים, אל תשכחו לקחת מחצלת. When you go to the beach, don't forget to take a mat. שרוכים, shoelaces. שרוכים, shoelaces. באיזה גיל למדתם לקשור את השרוכים? What age did you learn to tie your own shoelaces?
Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
כמה זה עולה? How much is it? כמה זה עולה? How much is it? So the word עולה in Hebrew means cost, but it also means to go up. So just notice. אתה מדבר אנגלית? Do you speak English? אתה מדבר אנגלית? Do you speak English? Well, obviously, if somebody speaks English, he can answer you that question even if you ask it in English. אני מניח. I guess so. אני מניח. I guess so. So, the literal translation of like the verb להניח, אני מניח, it's assume. So, it's kind of like saying, instead of I guess so, it's like I assume so. That's the literal translation.
מה שלומך? How are you? מה שלומך? Or מה שלומך for a woman, and this is how are you? How do you feel? חדש, new. יש לי תספורת חדשה. I got a new haircut. עבודה, work. It's a work, it's also a job. יש לי עבודה חדשה. I have a new job.
זה מוצא חן בעיניי. I like that one. זה מוצא חן בעיניי. I like that one. So when we say מוצא חן, it's actually a very interesting phrase because it means that it finds grace in my eyes, which I think is a beautiful way to say that you like something. אפשר לקבל תפריט בבקשה? Could we have the menu, please? אפשר לקבל תפריט בבקשה? Could we have the menu, please? Yeah, sometimes they just forget. Like they sit you down, you're at the table. Sometimes they'll even give you water and no menu, so that's kind of funny. אני לא מסכים. לא. I don't agree. No. אני לא מסכים. לא. I don't agree. No. So, when you say אני לא מסכים in Hebrew, it can either mean I don't agree or I won't allow it. It depends to who you're talking to. Like, I would maybe say it to my dog, and I'll tell him, אני לא מסכימה. And then he'll just stop doing what he's doing. But if you're not agreeing with somebody's opinion, you can also say, אני לא מסכים. לא. אני מסכים. I agree. אני מסכים. I agree. I don't know, I seem to use that much less than don't agree. Maybe it's just me. זה לא מתאים לי. This one isn't good for me. זה לא מתאים לי. This one isn't good for me. The word מתאים has a few meanings as well. It can mean match, and it can mean to suit. Like, it doesn't suit me. And also, if you have two things that are supposed to be the same, but they're not, you can say that זה לא מתאים. Doesn't match. מים בבקשה. Water, please. מים בבקשה. Water, please. Yeah, water in restaurants. You should know that you're always supposed to get tap water for free, so remember that.
היית בישראל? Have you been to Israel? היית בישראל? Have you been to Israel? For a female, היית בישראל? Well, have you?
אפשר בבקשה לארוז למתנה? Can you please wrap it as a gift? אפשר בבקשה לארוז למתנה? Can you please wrap it as a gift? I used to work at a store that people used to buy a lot of gifts from, and that was like my favorite part, like to wrap it up. I don't know why. אני רוצה את זה. I'd like this. אני רוצה את זה. I'd like this. So out of all the things, this is the thing you want. And you should emphasize, when you say that, you should emphasize the word זה. It. This. אתה יכול לתת לי הנחה? Could you give me a discount? אתה יכול לתת לי הנחה? Could you give me a discount? Now this one you should always say with a smile on your face. And another way of saying it in Hebrew, which is a little bit more common and a little bit more casual, is instead of the verb לתת, to give, use the verb לעשות, to do. אתה יכול לעשות לי הנחה? אתם מקבלים כרטיסי אשראי? Do you take credit card? אתם מקבלים כרטיסי אשראי? Do you take credit cards? Again, usually yes. Another very useful thing to ask with credit cards is if you can put like the tip in a restaurant, if you can put that on the credit card as well. And when you want to ask that, you'd say, אפשר טיפ באשראי? איפה תחנת הרכבת? Where's the train station? איפה תחנת הרכבת? Where's the train station? I feel like this sentence is more useful in places when you have like an underground train, whereas in Israel you have like a train that goes between cities, but sometimes you need to take that to the airport, so it's good to ask. סליחה, כמה עולה נסיעה? Excuse me, what's the fare? סליחה, כמה עולה נסיעה? Excuse me, what's the fare? I guess you'd ask that probably only on a bus in Israel and not in any other place. אתה יכול לצלם אותי בבקשה? Could you take a picture of me, please? אתה יכול לצלם אותי בבקשה? Could you take a picture of me, please? Yeah, so if you're not that much into selfies or you want to get a more panoramic or wide view of what's behind you, then ask somebody. Don't be shy.
Can. Yes. You can use it in any way you use yes. Yeah, use it. Be positive. לא. No. I like this word. It has a fun sound, and it was my sister's first word. לא. No. בא לי. I feel like. בא לי. It's two words. בא לי. And it means I feel like, I want. And you can also use it as a negative. בא לי גלידה. I feel like ice cream. I want ice cream. לא בא לי ללכת לבית הספר. I don't feel like going to school. So it's very useful. Children use it a lot, but grown-ups use it too. די. Enough. Stop. It sounds really bad, but it's harmless. It means enough or stop. When someone is like bugging you, poking you, like, די. Stop it. Enough. Yeah. כמה זה עולה? How much is it? כמה זה עולה? How much is it? How much does it cost? מעולה. Awesome. Great. I guess maybe the Hebrew equivalent of the word awesome, it's מעולה. The masculine form is מעולה and the feminine is מעולה. Like, ההופעה הזאת מעולה. This show is awesome. It's great. איך היה הטיול? היה מעולה. How was the trip? It was מעולה. Great. Awesome.
10 phrases to say when you're angry. Let's get started. זה לא עניינך. It's none of your business. זה לא עניינך. It's none of your business. זה לא עניינך. זה לא עניינך. It's none of your business. We all know when we're using that, right? I wouldn't say it to like people from work. שתוק. Shut up. שתוק. Shut up. שתוק. Shtok means be quiet, or, you know, it's not really shut up, but it's like be quiet. Sometimes you can say to like friends, like be quiet for a second. You can say like shtok shnia, like shut up for a minute. But if you really want to be rude, which sometimes you do, then you want to say stom tape. Stom tape, not et hape, because this is too polite. Stom tape means like shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. This is what you want to know. עזוב אותי. Leave me alone. עזוב אותי. Leave me alone. עזוב אותי. Most of these phrases are obviously quite short because you don't want to start a lecture when you're angry, right? You just want to send a message. You just want to be loud and clear. Leave me alone. עזוב אותי. It can also be physically, like, you know, just like, don't touch me. Like, עזוב אותי. If somebody does touch you, which is wrong. אתה צוחק עליי? Are you kidding me? אתה צוחק עליי? Are you kidding me? אתה צוחק עליי? Yeah, it also means like, are you making fun of me kind of thing. We usually say it when somebody's saying something that you really can't believe. It doesn't have to be like in an angry way. Like if somebody tells you something and it's really amazing, you can say like, you're kidding, right? So you can say, אתה צוחק עליי. It's like, no, it's real. Can be that kind of a thing. שיהיה, whatever. שיהיה, whatever. שיהיה, it's like, let it be. But it's not let it be like in a philosophical kind of a Beatles. It's more like, it's whatever. I don't care. Oh yeah, you can say to your parents like, whatever, שיהיה. Or if somebody tells you something and you don't really, like you don't even want to argue about it anymore, it's just whatever, okay, just שיהיה. 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 It's more of a teenager thing. מספיק עם זה. Cut it out. מספיק עם זה. Cut it out. Now this is more of a parent thing, like when you twitch your leg or you're just making noise or, you know, children are being annoying. And you also kind of say it through your teeth. It's like, מספיק עם זה. And the slower you say it, the scarier it is. It's like, the slower it is, you know they mean business. Oh my God, I should really stop. Sorry, Mom. It's more of like a stop. Kind of a, you know, enough. אני לא רוצה לדבר איתך. I don't want to talk to you. אני לא רוצה לדבר איתך. I don't want to talk to you. אני לא רוצה לדבר איתך. I mean, if when you're having an argument or something and you just, you know, want to give the silent treatment and somebody tries to ruin your silent treatment, then you're just like, I don't want to talk to you. אני לא רוצה לדבר איתך. Talk to the hand. אני כועס. I'm upset. אני כועס. I'm upset. I guess it's not too scary. I mean, people are entitled to their emotions, right? So you can express in simple words that you're upset or angry. That's perfectly fine. It's what comes after that that's really the bad part, right? It's like, אני כועס. I'm angry. What about? אז מה? So what? אז מה? So what? This is a very Israeli kind of a gesture. And it's like, kind of like, who do you think you are kind of a thing. Or, you know, who cares? So what? Practice. It's like screwing a ball, but more like vertical and fast. אז מה is literally just so what? אז מה? תשמור על הפה שלך. Watch your mouth. תשמור על הפה שלך. Watch your mouth. I honestly believe that you can have a serious discussion or just a really angry discussion without using any cuss words, and I'm a strong believer in that, and I try not to because I think I can make my points perfectly clear without it. And if somebody, like especially your child, if somebody is using like cuss words against you, you can say like, watch your mouth. And that's a really scary thing to say, in my opinion, to somebody like, תשמור על הפה שלך. Because there is a famous saying in Hebrew that means that life and death is on the tongue, like you can control life and death just by speaking. And it says, in Hebrew it says, חיים ומוות ביד הלשון. So if somebody tells you to watch your mouth, it means like, oh, this is going to get serious.
Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
10 pickup lines to use at your own risk. Let's start. Hey, motek. Hey, babe. Hi, motek. Hey, babe. אני לא המותק שלך. I'm not your babe.
Nice.
That's how I would reply.
Yeah.
Not everybody would reply like that, but I don't know how often people would say that to somebody they wouldn't know. I guess somebody's boyfriend could say it. That would be okay. Or like, my mom could say it to me because motek doesn't have to be babe. It can also be like sweetie. But if like somebody I didn't know say that to me, I would like, yeah, no. No. איבדתי את מספר הטלפון שלי. אפשר אולי את שלך? I lost my telephone number. Could you lend me yours? איבדתי את מספר הטלפון שלי. אפשר אולי את שלך? I lost my telephone number. Could you lend me yours? I think if somebody would say that to me, like, as a joke, then I would probably laugh and it will be like a good icebreaker, but if you do it like kind of seriously, then, I mean, no. But it is funny, I guess. Yeah. It's just so cheesy. Okay, the next one is like the super duper Israeli pickup line. So are you ready for this? Abba shelach ganan? Is your father a gardener? Abba shelach ganan? You'll have to edit this out. What you doing? Is your father a gardener? Now I know this is very weird, but the next line that you would say is, if like, is your father a gardener? Because if not, then how did he have such a flower? Like, you are the flower. All right, so the full sentence in Hebrew would be, Abba shelach ganan, אז איך יצא לו כזה פרח? Don't ever use it. This is horrible. This is horrible. I know, right? Yeah. Like, you're flowers. אז אתה בא לפה הרבה? So, you come here often? אז אתה בא לפה הרבה? So, you come here often? Very common. Sometimes people will say it like casually, like, oh, I'm not picking up on you, I'm just, making conversation. No, they're not making conversation. They just, yeah. את הבחורה הכי יפה שראיתי מעולם. You are the most beautiful girl I ever saw. את הבחורה הכי יפה שראיתי מעולם. You are the most beautiful girl I ever saw. How could that even be possible? No. נתערב על נשיקה שבסוף את תיפרדי ממני? Should we bet a kiss that you will dump me? נתערב על נשיקה שבסוף את תיפרדי ממני? Shall we bet a kiss that you'll dump me? This is very borderline here. I don't support this one specifically, even though, it is a little bit funny. But don't use it. אתה מאמין באהבה ממבט ראשון? או שעליי לחזור שוב? Do you believe in love at first sight? Or should I pass by one more time? אתה מאמין באהבה ממבט ראשון? או שעליי לחזור שוב? Do you believe in love at first sight? Or should I pass by one more time? This is extremely corny, but again, I think it's hilarious and it's very cute and funny, so I guess if somebody uses it like as a joke, it's cute because it's so corny that it's cute, Yeah. תרצי משהו? משקה? מתאבן? אותי? Would you like something? A drink? An appetizer? Me? תרצי משהו? משקה? מתאבן? אותי? Would you like something? A drink? An appetizer? Me? Don't put yourself in the same, in the same level as a drink or an appetizer. It doesn't, no, it's not a compliment for you. Don't do that, guys. Or girls. אני כבר כאן. מהן שתי המשאלות האחרות שלך? There, I'm already here. What are your other two wishes? אני כבר כאן. מהן שתי המשאלות האחרות שלך? There, I'm already here. What are your other two wishes? This is kind of creative, I guess. האם מתתי? או שמלאכים ירדו מגן עדן? Am I dead? or have the angels fallen from the sky? האם מתתי, או שמלאכים ירדו מגן עדן? Am I dead, or have the angels fallen from the sky? No comment. Okay, everybody, that's it. You've braved through it. Those were 10 pickup lines to use at your own risk. Let me know in the comments below if you have any more creative ones. Top 10 most common vocabulary for tourists. Let's start. כרטיס, ticket. כרטיס, ticket. קנה את הכרטיס בתחנה. טרם העלייה לרכבת. Get your ticket at the station before boarding the train. I think that some places, like if you're really in a rush, you can buy your ticket on the train, but I wouldn't try doing it. תייר, tourist. תייר, tourist. מחר תגיע למלון קבוצה גדולה של תיירים. Tomorrow, a large group of tourists will arrive at the hotel. לוח זמנים, itinerary. לוח זמנים, itinerary. זה לוח הזמנים להיום. This is today's itinerary. The word לוח זמנים can also mean schedule, not just itinerary. It's kind of the same. מדריך טיולים, guidebook. מדריך טיולים, a guidebook. מדריך טיולים ייתן מידע מועיל לטיול שלך. A guidebook will give you helpful information for your trip. The word in Hebrew, מדריך טיולים, it's not just a guidebook, but it can also mean like a person who is a tour guide or any other type of guide. אוטובוס טיולים, tour bus. אוטובוס טיולים, a tour bus. אוטובוס טיולים הוא מצוין לטיול קבוצתי. A tour bus is a great way to take a group trip. I think people take group trips less and less, right? Am I wrong? I think now with the internet and mobile phones and stuff like that, people can get around on their own much more than they could before. So they don't really need that group thing so much anymore. They can just do it by themselves, and I think that's great. But group trips are also very good for maybe older people or families. But yeah. מקדש, temple. מקדש, temple. הרבה אנשים הולכים למקדש כדי להתפלל. Many people go to the temple for prayer. This one, the meaning of the word mikdash, it's any temple that's not Jewish. I know sometimes in the US people use the word temple also for a synagogue, but this time it's not the same. מסגד, mosque. מסגד, mosque. במסגד, המוסלמים מתפללים כל יום. At a mosque, Muslims pray every day. There are many mosques in Israel. Some of them are absolutely beautiful, and I totally recommend it to visit. כנסייה, church. כנסייה, church. להרבה נוצרים חשוב לבקר בכנסייה כל יום ראשון. Many Christians feel it is important to attend church every Sunday. Also, many churches in Israel as well, very beautiful. Maybe not as beautiful as those you see in Europe, but very interesting and historical. מפל, waterfall. מפל, waterfall. המפל יפה. The waterfall is beautiful. לסייר, to tour. לסייר, to tour. מחר נצא לסייר בעיר העתיקה. Tomorrow we'll go tour the old city. So the word לסייר, it's just like for traveling when you're a tourist. It's not really just a word that you casually use on your everyday. Top 10 most popular train or bus stations in Israel. Let's start. התחנה המרכזית ירושלים. Jerusalem Central Station. תמיד לחוץ בתחנה המרכזית בירושלים. It's always busy at Jerusalem Central Station. Luckily, I have never been. שדה התעופה בן גוריון. בן גוריון Airport. שדה התעופה בן גוריון הוא הגדול והחשוב בישראל. Ben Gurion Airport is the largest main airport in Israel. It is also named after the first Prime Minister of Israel, David Ben Gurion. So, Ben Gurion Airport is supposedly in Tel Aviv, but it's not really, it's close, and it's in a city called Lod. האוניברסיטה, University. הסטודנטים ירדו בתחנת האוניברסיטה. The students got off at the university station. That's a very important train station in Tel Aviv, and one that was actually the closest to my house. So it is called the university station because it's just right next to Tel Aviv University. So it makes it convenient for students from all over the country to get there. העיר העתיקה, Old City. אנשים מכל הדתות מתגוררים בעיר העתיקה. People from all religions live in the Old City. When we say the Old City, we mean the Old City of Jerusalem, which is right down in the center of Jerusalem metropolitan, I guess, today. That's the Old City that existed for thousands of years. שוק מחנה יהודה, מחנה יהודה Market. שוק מחנה יהודה הוא כמו שני מקומות שונים במשך היום והלילה. מחנה יהודה Market is like two different places during the day and during the night. It's actually very true. Like during the day, it's just a market with, people selling vegetables and fish and meat and whatever. And at nighttime, there are many nice restaurants there and bars, and a lot of young people hang out. So it's not just for like old grannies to go shopping for vegetables for soup, but it's also like a very hip kind of an area for young people to hang out. It's kind of cool. רכבת סבידור מרכז, סבידור Railway Station. אנחנו צריכים להחליף רכבת בסבידור מרכז. We need to change trains at Savidor Merkaz Station. So yes, usually this is the station when you usually have to change trains when you're going from the north part of Israel to the south. It will happen in Tel Aviv, which is the center, and that will be the station that you will change it in. מרכזית חוף הכרמל, Carmel Beach Central Bus Station. אף פעם לא הייתי בתחנה המרכזית חוף הכרמל. I have never been to Carmel Beach Central Bus Station. I actually have many times. My boyfriend used to live a long time ago. I had a boyfriend in Haifa, and I used to go there all the time. השלום, עזריאלי. השלום, עזריאלי. אחר הצהריים יש המון חיילים באזור השלום, עזריאלי. In the afternoons, there are a lot of soldiers around Hashalom Azrieli area. This is again a very big train station in Tel Aviv, and it's right next to a big shopping mall called Azrieli, and that shopping mall is very close to a military base. תחנת הרכבת בית יהושע, בית יהושע train station. אני תמיד עולה בתחנת הרכבת בית יהושע. I always take the train from Beit Yehoshua. I have to admit I don't know where that is. I think it's up north. I don't know. שער יפו, Jaffa Gate. שבוע שעבר הלכנו לאכול חומוס במסעדה ליד שער יפו. Last week we ate hummus at a restaurant near Jaffa Gate. I like hummus.
Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
10 phrases for surviving back to school. Let's get started. Tik gav, backpack. I carry everything in my backpack. אני שמה הכל בתיק הגב שלי. I put everything in my backpack. It's actually really true. You know how some people like change up their bags and, you know, they have one for this and one for that, and I just have like one that I carry around, and it's kind of heavy and has everything. But what can you do? It's easier like that. תלמיד, student. בתיכון הייתי תלמיד ממוצע. In high school, I was an average student. No, I wasn't. I was a very good student every time. And also, in Hebrew, the word for a student in school and for a student in the university is different. We say talmid for school, and for university we say student. שיעורי בית, homework. יש לנו שיעורי בית באנגלית. We have homework in English. Literal translation of שיעורי בית is house classes or house studying. So even though nobody's teaching you, it's still considered like a class and not a task. בחינה, exam. מתי מתקיימת הבחינה הסופית שלך? When is your final exam taking place? Yeah, do you guys like exams and tests? I was kind of okay with it. I don't know, it's just that all of this studying finally leads to something, and then you finish it and you feel so relieved and you just know like, okay, this is done, accomplished. מחברת, notebook. יש לי מחברת נפרדת לכל שיעור. I have a separate notebook for each class. I used to have like this notebook binder when I was in first grade. I didn't have like those big spiral notebooks that people have when they're older. I had like the small ones that are, you know, just clipped together. And there were all sorts of like colors and all sorts of characters. And I put all of my notebooks in a binder that had like a Barbie on it. בית ספר, school. לוקח לי 5 דקות להגיע לבית הספר. It takes me 5 minutes to get to school. Literal translation of the combination Beit Sefer actually means book house. And it's not a library, it's a school. There's a different name for a library. Beit Sefer is like where you open a book and learn. Yeah. ללמוד, to study. אתם נהנים ללמוד עברית? Do you enjoy studying Hebrew? Of course you are! In Hebrew, the word lilmod means study and learn. It's used for both. I know in English it's also sometimes the same thing, but studying, I guess, is more proactive and learning, it's more passive. But in Hebrew, it's the same word for both. זהו היום הראשון ללימודים. It's the first day of class. Do you like the first day of class? School, all through the years, like from elementary school to like high school, I really liked it because I enjoyed seeing my friends again and stuff like that. But in university, like, it was really bad. Why? אנחנו באותה כיתה. We're in the same class. Every year, Israel at least, you would only discover like who are your classmates, I think only on the first day. And if you had like your best buddies, like, we're in the same class. And then you would sit together on the same table and it's just exciting. איזה שיעורים אתה לוקח? What classes are you taking? Like, you don't really have choice when you're in high school. It's like, oh, what are you taking? It's whatever they tell me to do. In university, you choose your own classes, and then you can ask, like, oh, are you taking this? Are you taking this? This is really bad. I did last year. It's really boring, blah, blah, blah. Top 10 words to know before taking the airplane. Let's begin. תא הטייס, pilot chamber. תא הטייס, pilot chamber. אין להיכנס לתא הטייס. There is no entrance to the pilot chamber. Ta in Hebrew can also mean cell. It can also mean a cell like for a cellular phone. It can mean a cell in a human body or a biological organism. And it can also mean a chamber. חגורת בטיחות, seatbelt. חגורת בטיחות, seatbelt. אנא הדקו את חגורת הבטיחות. Please fasten your seatbelt. So, in English we say seatbelt, but in Hebrew, חגורת בטיחות means more like safety belt than a seatbelt. הפרשי זמנים, time difference. הפרשי זמנים, time difference. הפרש הזמנים בין ישראל וארצות הברית הוא 7 שעות בערך. The time difference between Israel and the US is about 7 hours. Oof, time differences, this is rough. I use melatonin to help me get over jet lag. What do you guys do? Let me know. Ta'ei ikhsun ilaim. Overhead storage compartments. Ta'ei ikhsun ilaim. Overhead storage compartments. יש לוודא שתאי האחסון העילאיים סגורים כהלכה. Please make sure that the overhead storage compartments are closed properly. Ilaim means overhead, but it can also mean something that is superior. So don't think that those storage compartments are all that. It's just that they're overhead. Yeah, it's kind of funny. יציאת חירום. Emergency exit. יציאת חירום. Emergency exit. הכיסאות הכי טובים נמצאים ליד יציאת החירום. The best seats are next to the emergency exits. Now they charge extra for those. They didn't used to, think until a few years ago, but now they do. So I don't think doesn't worth it. מושב. seat. מושב. seat. סליחה, יש בעיה עם המושב שלי. Excuse me, there's a problem with my seat. The Hebrew word moshav, that means seat, obviously is connected to the word for sitting down, which is לשבת. לשבת, מושב. דייל, flight attendant. דייל, flight attendant. הרבה אנשים חולמים לעבוד כדיילים. Many people dream of working as flight attendants. Do they? I don't know. Anyway, the word for a male flight attendant is dayal, and a female is dayelet. Tayas, pilot. Tayas, pilot. לטייס אחריות גדולה ביותר. למרות המחשוב. The pilot has a big responsibility, in spite of autopilot. And the female for tayas is tayeset. There are many of those as well. מחלקה ראשונה, first class. מחלקה ראשונה, first class. מעולם לא יצא לי לטוס במחלקה ראשונה. I've never flown first class. Yeah, someday. מחלקת תיירים, economy class. מחלקת תיירים, economy class. טיסה במחלקת תיירים היא בדרך כלל הזולה ביותר. A flight in the economy class is usually the cheapest one. So, another way of saying מחלקת תיירים is מחלקת נוסעים.
In this video, you'll learn 3 reasons you're never too old to learn a language, and you'll also learn 3 ways our learning system can help people of all ages to study efficiently. Number 1, seniors have better focus. Learning a new language in your 50s or 60s may actually be easier than learning as a teenager or young adult. More mature adults can better focus on the details necessary to master a new language. Older people are also often more dedicated to their goals and put more work into achieving them. Seniors are better able to focus on completing lessons and reaching goals. There are a lot of distractions out there these days for young people. There's everything from Facebook to Instagram and all the usual drama of daily life at work and at school. Seniors are typically less concerned with these kinds of things and are better at focusing on tasks until completion. This is extremely important for language study, where regular practice and attention to detail are key. Not only are you never too old to learn, you may have some advantages over younger learners. Our language learning program has a number of special tools to make learning a new language in your 50s or 60s easy. You'll use the same resources as a tech-savvy teenager. Number 2, learning is vital to healthy and happy living. Learning is actually vital to your health. Doing things like playing word games, doing puzzles, and even using online platforms like Luminosity do help keep the mind nimble. But nothing compares to learning a second language in terms of health benefits for your mind. Learning another language may be one of the very best retirement hobbies you can pick up. You can also apply your second language knowledge when you travel. Number 3, there are health benefits to learning new things after the age of 60. Learning a second language increases the number of neural pathways in the brain. Forging these new neural pathways helps you code and sort the new language you are learning. In addition, there are other brain health benefits associated with learning a new language. Here's a list of benefits bilingual people can enjoy. Higher overall general intelligence, better memory and memorization skills, better perception of surroundings, better focus, concentration, and attention to detail. So in a very real way, learning a new language is one of the best and most practical retirement hobbies you can find because it helps protect against cognitive decline as you age. Now let's talk about how our language learning program has methods to make sure you can start learning in your 50s, 60s, and beyond. Number 1, we have an intuitive, easy-to-use system. Learning in old age doesn't have to be hard or irritating. It can and should be fun. From your very first lesson, we'll make sure you're speaking fluently every day. You can start and stop each lesson as many times as you want. Study when you want, where you want, and at the pace you decide. Number 2, you'll find special tools to boost retention and performance. As we mature, learning to use the right tools is vital to getting jobs done fast and right. So we make it easier than ever to make learning in old age fun and rewarding with a wide range of tools to boost retention and performance, including spaced repetition flashcards, so you can learn vocab fast, line-by-line audio transcripts, so you can read along with each lesson, pronunciation and accent review, instructor lesson notes, review quizzes, 2,000 core words, enough for fluency. You are truly never too old to learn, with more than 20 tools and resources to help boost learning and performance. Number 3, you'll get support every step of the way. Although you may never be too old to learn, it doesn't hurt to have a little help along the way. Our language learning system has helped thousands of seniors learn and master a new language with help and support at every step. We offer 24/7 assistance. Just send us an email. We have dedicated language experts standing by to help you with any problem or issue you may be experiencing. There is also instructor feedback. Have specific questions about a lesson or your progress? You can directly email instructors and get direct responses to any question you may have about your studies or lessons. Or try studying with your very own instructor. Members of our exclusive Premium Plus plan not only get a custom curriculum tailored to their very own goals, they also gain access to their very own language instructor. Learning in old age isn't just a luxury. It's crucial to helping avoid the onset of Alzheimer's, dementia, and other age-related cognitive issues. Specifically, learning another language helps increase overall intelligence and improve awareness, memory, and overall cognitive function. So not only are you never too old to learn a new language for health reasons, it's a great way to meet new people and start adventures. Want to cut your language studying time in half? In this video, you'll discover how learning a language using PDF lessons is convenient, efficient, and can help you cut your studying time nearly in half. Many people give up on their dream of learning a second language because traditional classroom instruction is too much of a hassle. Between getting to class, studying on someone else's schedule, and just the sheer expense of the books and tuition, traditional learning can be tough. Many people simply give up. Online classes are an option, but sometimes limited data plans can derail the dream of learning a new language. Fortunately, there is a solution: learning language using PDF lesson notes. Let's take a closer look at how studying language lessons in PDF format can help you reach your dream in about half the time of normal video or audio lessons. First, print all lessons and PDF tools and take them with you anywhere. Sometimes a tiny smartphone screen just isn't adequate, especially when you're trying to learn something new. The great thing about PDF lessons is that they can be quickly printed and taken anywhere after you download them. In fact, printing out lessons in PDF format can actually save you time when compared to going through the material on a smartphone with a small screen, even with the extra printing time. Second, they're a great study tool to boost retention and mastery. Studying video or audio lessons online is a great way to learn a language because students can play and rewind sections as many times as needed until the lesson is mastered. But when you review the same lessons again in PDF format, an incredible thing happens. Your retention dramatically improves. Thanks to time-spaced repetition, seeing the information again in written format helps reinforce the information in your mind and improves both retention and recall. The benefits of learning a language using PDF lessons quickly add up to significant time savings for you, your data plan, and your dream of learning a new language. Third, all lessons in PDF format include in-depth instructor notes. We have thousands of HD video and audio lessons, and each one includes a PDF version with a line-by-line transcript, so you can read along with the lesson as it appears online. In addition to the line-by-line transcript, all lessons include in-depth instructor notes with more information, sample sentences, explanations, and translations. The additional information and notes help you learn faster and with greater mastery than using the video or audio lessons alone. And when paired with language learning video games, video and audio lessons, or other study aids, our PDF lessons help you reach your dream of learning a new language faster and easier than many traditional classroom settings. Fourth, you can download the world's largest online collection of lessons by real instructors. Planning on going on vacation and don't know if you'll have reliable internet service? If you're learning through PDF lessons, it's not a problem. Once you download lessons in PDF format to your smartphone, PC, or favorite media device, they are yours to use and keep forever. Once downloaded, you can either print out or access your lessons in PDF format, regardless of internet access. When you consistently learn through PDF lessons, the time savings and benefits quickly compound. From quicker access to faster learning, PDF lessons can potentially reduce total study time required to learn a concept. Our PDF lessons include instructor notes and supplemental resources that help you learn faster and with less effort. Does having a study partner help you learn a language faster? For most people, having a friend or romantic partner who is a native speaker of their target language dramatically improves their ability to master the language. In this video, we'll talk about some ways to help you build relationships with people. We'll also talk about 3 reasons having a native speaker partner can improve your language fluency. First, knowing a native speaker helps you better understand the culture. Knowing a native speaker gets you connected with the culture in ways that no lessons or textbooks ever could. Native speakers are better informed about the latest slang expressions and know interesting places to eat and hang out. Having a friend or partner who is a native speaker can dramatically improve your understanding of the language. In addition to language, you can learn about cultural practices, gestures, and relationships. Second, having a native speaker partner increases your exposure to the language. Practice makes perfect is a well-known expression that is certainly true for language learning. When you have a friend, romantic partner, or study buddy, you speak to them through text messages, phone calls, and basic interaction. These are all opportunities for you to practice the language. Making an effort to practice will help your vocabulary quickly expand beyond simple greetings, flirtatious words, and basic comments to deeper, more meaningful conversations. Third, a supportive partner is the best study aid you can find. We all make mistakes, especially when trying to learn a new language. But if you have a supportive partner, they can gently point out your mistakes and help you find better ways to express yourself. And if your native speaker study partner is also your romantic partner, your motivation will likely be even higher than someone who does not have a romantic relationship with a native speaker. Now, let's look at 3 ways our language learning program helps you learn even faster if you have a native speaker partner. First, all resources and materials are available in English and in your target language. Studying with a partner is special because it's an opportunity for both of you to learn a new language. That's why every single lesson, transcript, vocabulary list, and resource on our website is available in English and in your target language. You can learn from each other. Second, lessons are designed to help you understand and engage with culture. On our website, our focus is to help our students learn practical vocabulary and phrases that are actually used in everyday conversation. This means that from your very first lesson, you can start applying what you learn immediately. So if you want to go out to a restaurant, play games, or attend a social function with your partner, you'll have the vocabulary and phrases necessary to have a great time. Third, access to special resources dedicated to romantic phrases. If your study partner is your romantic partner, we have resources to help you communicate your feelings correctly. Our language learning program has special sections and tools to teach you love words, phrases, and cultural insights. Of course, please remember that simply being in a relationship is no substitute for studying. Communication is key to every relationship, whether romantic or not. If you fail to continue expanding your vocabulary and you stop learning the language on your own, your relationships may suffer or fizzle out. Without question, spending time with native speakers can help you dramatically improve your language proficiency. But this is no replacement for focused studying. It's essential to help facilitate better communication and master the language. Want to transform your driving time into language learning time? How much time do you spend in your car every day? 30 minutes? More than an hour? Why not put this huge amount of time to good use? Instead of just listening to the radio during your daily commute, you could be learning a new language instead. Here are 3 easy methods for learning a language in your car. You can put them to use right away with the help of our language learning program. First, you can listen to fun audio lessons by real teachers. Listening to lessons while in the car allows you to focus on the road as you listen and learn. In every one of our 3 to 15-minute lessons, our teachers teach you conversations, new phrases, and cultural points. Audio is the only learning medium that lets you learn and drive safely at the same time, so take advantage of all our audio lessons available. Second, you can set your lessons on autoplay and go hands-free. Our autoplay feature lets you keep your hands on the wheel without even reaching for your device. Just set your lessons to autoplay one by one with our Innovative Language 101 app, and never have to interrupt your focus on driving to switch to a new lesson. Third, you can repeat out loud and speak from your very first lesson. You want to speak a new language too, right? Well, you'll start learning conversations minutes into your lessons. All you have to do is listen and repeat out loud. Our teachers take you step by step through all of the words, phrases, translations, and grammar points. You're even prompted to speak out loud and repeat. The result? You understand it all and can speak your new language. Turn your commute into language learning time and have fun at the same time. Learning doesn't have to be a big commitment, like signing up for a college class. It can be fun and easy. In fact, it's as easy as pressing play. Our language learning programs will do the work for you. And with the exposure you get while driving on your daily commute, you'll be speaking and understanding real-life language quickly. The best part? You can finally learn without even changing your schedule. So if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! The 3 powerful language learning lessons you'll pick up at the gym. And today, you're going to learn 1. How to approach your goals, 2. How to find time to learn a language, and 3. Why you don't need the best possible routine or learning program. So, if you've ever spent time in the gym, you'll quickly see how similar training and language learning are. But before we move on, listen up. Here are this month's new lessons and resources. First, want to perfect your pronunciation? Then get our new pronunciation PDF cheat sheet right now. You'll learn how to sound like a native speaker and how to practice your pronunciation. Second, do you know the 7 tested ways to learn language fast? With this new ebook, you'll learn how to use our learning system to speak better, remember more words, and improve fast. Download it for free right now. Third, 20 useful phrases for a hair salon. Would you be able to get a haircut in your target language? If you said no, then this 1-minute lesson is just what you need. Fourth, 20 phrases for doing business successfully. If you're learning the language for work, this 1-minute lesson is for you. You'll learn the 20 most common greetings, phrases, and questions for business meetings. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. The 3 powerful language learning lessons you'll pick up at the gym. The first lesson is how to approach your goals and language learning. So, why are we talking about the gym? The gym is a great example because it's filled with people working on their goals, and it gives you a snapshot of where most people are with their goals. And everyone there has one goal, to be fit. But not everyone is there yet. You have a few people that look like fitness models. Then you have around 20 or 30 people that have good, respectable physiques, the middle group, and then the rest of the people are still working their way up. It's motivating because everyone has a chance of succeeding. If you've been to the gym, you understand the importance of repetition, doing reps. A rep is the number of times you do a certain exercise. Like 15 push-ups is 15 reps of push-ups. So even people still working toward their goals have a chance of succeeding if they put in the reps. If they do a little bit a day over a long period of time, they'll get there. The process is simple. The more you do, the longer you stick with it, the more progress you make. And the same goes for learning language or any other goal in life. It's about putting in the reps a little bit a day, consistently, for a long period of time. If you want to get bigger muscles, you pick up a dumbbell and you do reps. If you want to learn more words, you do the reps. 5 new words a day. So, what can you do right now? For example, if you're using our program, just do 1 lesson a day. If you have a textbook, do 1 page a day. If you're using an app, put in 5 minutes a day. Again, everyone has a chance to succeed. They just need to put in the reps, and they need to make the time. This is where the second lesson comes in. You'll learn how to find and make time to learn a language. There's a reason the people you see at the gym daily, and especially the people you see at 10 p.m. on a Friday, are the ones with above-average results. They're the most consistent. But how do they get that level of consistency? There tend to be 3 types of people. First, the people that have plenty of free time, so it's a non-issue for them. Second, the busier people. They make time regardless of what their schedule is like, meaning they show up at 1 a.m. just to fit in a session, or they cancel other plans to make time. And third, the people who have made it a habit. They're so used to going that they don't have to think about it. Ideally, you want to be in the third group with language learning. But most people fall into the second group. The truth is that to make time, they have to cancel other plans. Some wake up earlier to squeeze in a session in the a.m. Some go late at night. It's the same exact thing with language learning. You make time. The good news with language learning is you don't need to open up a lesson at 1 a.m. and put in an hour. With our learning program, you'll get our quick but powerful 3 to 15-minute audio and video lessons. And because the lessons are short, you can easily make time. You can do a lesson on your commute or while walking somewhere. Imagine learning a quick conversation while on your way to the store. Finally, the third language learning lesson you'll learn at the gym is why you don't need the best possible routine to get results. Have you ever heard a friend say, "I have to start the right way. It has to be perfect"? Well, this is a disastrous way to start anything, whether fitness or language learning. And most learners spend a lot of time worrying about starting right, instead of just starting and keeping at it. But the point is, if you start learning from a textbook and stick with it, you'll get results. You'll improve your reading, vocabulary, and grammar. Of course, it won't get you speaking. You'll only get good at what you focus on. But the fact is, you'll still make progress. Same with the gym. If you start off with bicep curls, you'll see progress in time. But at some point, you'll need to add in legs as well. You can't skip leg day. So here's what you can learn. Here's what smart beginners do. They don't look for the best way to start. They just start and keep going. And once they have a consistent routine, they start optimizing. They improve their routine. If you start taking 1 lesson a day and can easily maintain that routine, then you might eventually realize that you want to practice speaking. You need to shadow that lesson's conversation. So you add shadowing to your routine, and that's how you grow. Same thing with the gym. The smart beginners make sure they do their reps and come in as much as possible. And doing the basics is enough for them to build muscle. Later on, they'll start adjusting their exercises and adding new ones. But you'll never get to that point if you overthink yourself into inaction and don't build that habit. So as long as you start and continue, most starting routines and learning methods are good enough. You don't need the best possible one right now. You could have the best possible language learning program, but if you don't use it consistently, it's useless. All right, so today you learned 1. How to approach your goals, 2. How to find time to learn a language, and 3. Why you don't need the best possible routine or learning program. Hey everyone, welcome to the Monthly Review, the monthly show on language learning, where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, study tools, and resources. By the way, All the free lessons and bonuses you're about to see can be downloaded on our website. So click the link in the description right now to sign up for your free lifetime account. Okay, today's topic is how to speak more of your target language, talking points for language learners. And today you're going to learn 1. What talking points are, 2. 5 talking points you can use to start conversations and maximize your speaking time, and 3. How to get our conversation cheat sheets so you can speak even more of your target language. And you'll find out how to get them for free. If you've always wanted to speak more in your target language, then this episode is for you. I'll get into this in just a bit. If you're like most language learners, then your #1 goal is to speak more, right? You want to have fluent conversations with natives. It's a great goal to have. But for most language learners, speaking also happens to be their weakest skill. You may not know enough of the language to express yourself. You tend to run out of words and things to say. And you're just not sure how to start conversations. If you have at least one of these issues, then talking points are just what you need. Part 1. What's a talking point? A talking point is a topic that invites discussion or argument. In other words, just something to talk about. It could be about yourself, your work, your hobbies, the weather, food, or what you did this past weekend. All of these are talking points. Here's an example to help you better understand talking points. Think of a conversation you'd have with a friend. You can ask, "What did you do this weekend?" They'll reply and then ask you back. The talking point here is the weekend. Let's say your friend says they went to a restaurant. That's a natural talking point to explore next. You can ask, "What kind of restaurants do you like?" Now you've covered 2 talking points. The more talking points you have, the more you can speak. And the same goes for your target language. The only challenge is you need to know the relevant words and phrases for that topic. For example, if you want to talk about the weekend, you need to know phrases and questions like, "What did you do this weekend?" "I did this." "What about you?" In the next part, you'll discover 5 easy talking points that you can master with our learning program. Let's get into part 2. Part 2. 5 talking points you can use. The first one is, learn how to introduce yourself in your target language. Why is this a powerful talking point? Introducing yourself is something you'll do again and again, every time you meet someone new. So learning the relevant phrases is a must. If you've done the first few lessons on our site, you can already do this. If not, then check out our absolute beginner lessons and the top 25 questions you must know lessons. You'll learn basic conversations with our quick 3 to 15-minute lessons. We'll give you the exact lines to use, along with the translations, so that you can use them in conversations. You can also use this talking point to continue a conversation. For example, if you've started with a different point, like the weather, then it makes sense to say, "By the way, my name is..." Talking point number 2, the weather. This is a universal talking point. People like to talk or complain about the weather all over the world. In fact, just saying, "It's really nice today," is enough to start a conversation with a native speaker. If you want to talk about the weather, check out our can-do lesson pathway called Can Talk About Weather. You'll find this pathway in the absolute beginner level of our lesson library. Talking point number 3, compliments. Compliments are another great way to start a conversation or continue one. If you're running out of things to say, you can quickly transition and say something about their city, their country, or just, "Hey, I like your shirt." If you want to learn how to compliment, check out our compliments phrase list. This list is free to access for all users. If you don't know where to find it on our site, leave a comment in the comments below and we'll follow up. Point number 4, ask for help. For example, you can ask for directions or about the price and let the conversation go from there. These are very basic phrases that you learn in our survival phrases lessons. If you want to strike up a quick dialogue, this is a great talking point to use. Point number 5, learn phrases for transactions, like getting a room at a hotel, shopping, ordering food, or telling the taxi driver where to go. You may think that this isn't much of a talking point, but for the learners that are shy about talking to random native speakers for no reason, this is an easy way to start a dialogue. You have a good excuse. You want to buy something, so the staff will be happy to respond. Again, you learn all of these with our survival phrases lessons. Okay, let's move on to our last part. Part 3, how to get our conversation cheat sheets. Lastly, I'm going to tell you how to get our collection of conversation cheat sheets for free. With these cheat sheets, you'll be able to talk about all kinds of topics: travel, hobbies, dating, family, weather, and much more, which means you can master a lot of talking points and speak more of your target language. If you'd like to get these cheat sheets, please leave us a comment in the comment section. So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about how to double your speaking time in your target language. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye!
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.